And it is a lazy Sunday morning in Australia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get across to the front page and say hello to you all. Here it is. There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Lovely to see you. This is the first stream from me for the new year. It has been a good month, so let's see how rusty I actually am in this stream stuff. And in the words of Monty Python, now for something completely different, I am streaming my first 18v18. I haven't actually had time to stream any of those prior to now, and I do need to change the intro there. That was just tacked on to the seasonal one that I was using just to get at least something in the pretty footage department at the start. But I do need to make it very specific for the 18v18 because, of course, we don't have tanks, we don't have bombing runs, we don't have all that wider gameplay stuff. But what we do have is something that I actually quite enjoy, which is the tight infantry combat kind of stuff. So this is for those that have followed my streams for the last year. I guess it's almost been a year now since I started streaming Hell Let Loose stuff. And there was a tournament, a little tournament I ran, the Fireteam Invitational, which was a 5v5 or 6v6 tournament actually, squad level kind of 4 grid square thing. So this one is a little bit broader, a little bit bigger. It's been around a little bit longer. I didn't actually know about it when I ran my Invitational, so it's good because I'll learn some things out of this one as I watch it here today, and as you will watch it here today. So welcome to this. Welcome to the stream, sorry. I'm running 2 matches today, but we're going to miss the start of the second one. The reason is, so I put my name down late yesterday for the Chimera versus 10th Mountain, which of course is the one we're watching first up here. And then there was the potential for it to not have an admin cam because they were having some admin cam problems. So I sort of floated out to the community, was there any other matches that needed to be done today that weren't covered? And the 20th Panzer Grenadier versus OTTR match, they jumped on it straight away and said, yeah, look, we've got a match at 9 p.m. Eastern. Can you do that one? And I went, oh, I'll have to have a look to see if the Chimera one, Chimera 10th is up. And it is. We've got admin cam working. It's set up. But what I'll do, because no one else is capturing the 20th versus OTTR, I'm going to do that one as well. But we will, depending on how this one goes with Chimera and 10th, of course, but we will likely miss the first of the 3 battles of the 20th versus OTTR. So I apologise for that. But what are we looking at here? Well, what we're looking at here is a match with Chimera versus 10th Mountain. These guys, I've watched them play a couple of times now. They have played in a couple of tournaments against each other. I don't think there's any grudginess there, but come on. They've got to be competitive. That's definitely going to be out there today. These guys will be looking to beat each other. I think the Chimera team as a whole has come off better against the 10th in the past. But remember, this is only 18v18, so this is a tight group of people who are probably practicing and training together for this tournament. Now, and I'll also say, with as far as I understand of the 10th, they have had a couple of different teams in overtime in the broader, you know, the 35v35 and the 50 for 49v49 tournaments. So 10th, Colonel Matthews, who is someone I've worked with on and off over the last 12 months, well, 6 months, I suppose. Good egg, as Stu likes to say. And Colonel Matthews was saying how he's got like a primary team and then there's a secondary comp team which was trying to just step up and learn. And that's great. That's really what you want. Because when I thought about it before, as I was setting up for this, and I looked back at the last, 8-10 months of streaming and stuff that I've done, holy hell, there's a competitive scene out there for Hell Let Loose, isn't there? It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. There's people all over the place doing all sorts of cool stuff. And the number of clans and groups in it, as I was looking through my icons box, the icons directory on my hard drive to pull the right icons for this, there's shit tins of them. There's an absolute smorgasbord of icons, which means it's a great competitive scene at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing that into 2023, of course. You can get a little bit of burnout from playing the same game and doing the same sort of stuff. So variety is the spice of life. And so an 18v18 tournament really does bring something a little bit different to the table. There are a couple of very specific rules around it. And I've actually had Mugshot from Chimera list a couple for me this morning, and I'm going to use them and tell you about them now. You know, there's no garrisons except the starting ones, and those ones are to feed their troops in. The matches are 30 minutes long each. There's 3 matches, and it's the best of 3. So if someone wins the first 2, then it's GG's. Players can't go above head height, which kind of is good for me because I never know how the hell to get on the top of anything. So that's quite interesting in the way that this game is played. There's a lot of players that use that height advantage in other tournaments. No such luck here. There's yeah, there are a few exceptions there, and it's a little bit complicated. I was reading about that this morning actually, and I can see how it can be challenging, and it can be challenging to police as well. But with only 18 on the field at any given time on either team, the referees will be able to manage that pretty well. We did certainly with the 6v6 kind of stuff for the Invitational. No satchels, sad, but that's okay. No engineers at all, and they must have 3 6-person squads. There's no mines, and they don't build anything. So, no engineers, of course. So it's really quite a fascinating thing, this tournament, and I'm looking forward to it. And it brings a different dynamic to the actual game compared to the other tournaments, of course. Now, we need to pull the right table up. Here, this is the actual brackets table at the moment for the Invitational. So how did we get to this point where Chimera and 10th Mountain are playing each other? Well, if you can see that hopefully on the stream, you can see how that's fed down through all the different matches. So Chimera indicated to me yesterday that they were playing OPBHB, and I couldn't stream that one. I wanted to, but I had other stuff on. And the winner of that, of course, went to play ESPT, so that's a match to watch that's coming up. Because we're right at the pointy end of it now, so I've kind of missed most of this particular tournament, but that's because I was busy, unfortunately. Chimera now delegated to the lower bracket of the North American area, and so you can see there that they are playing 10th, and the winner of that is going to go up into the final 6. The loser of 45, well, that's the end. So whoever loses today is out, and we thank them for their time in the tournament. When we go across wherever I can find them, the OTTR and 20th PzG, I can't see them on here, so I'm going to try and work that out before we actually get to that stage in the... Oh, there they are. No, they're right above. I'm a dickhead. Okay, so here's the interesting point. 20th and OTTR, which is the second match today, the winner of that is going to play against the winner of the Chimera 10th today, and that will be the final 6. That's how this particular part's working. So, sorry, I'm just squinting on the screen here because I've got it on my little screen over here where my OBS is. So, the 2 matches today, the 2 winners are going to play each other to be able to get a spot in the final 6. So. Kind of cool. Let's see how it goes, I guess. So that's what we've got, folks. That's where we're at. That's where we're heading with this tournament today. They're just doing the setup stuff now on the server. I guess the question there's a few points I should make here. This is a 5-minute delay stream, so yeah, there is 5 minutes delayed in this. And I should be able to interact with you a little bit, which is not normal for me because of the 15 or 30-minute delays we usually have. I don't try and interact too much. So I'll tend towards that style already. So I'll say hi in chat where I can, but really I'm focused on the match. I've cut out the ads. I've remembered to do that this time. I don't like to run ads, at least, you know, adverts, those 30-second things that they have. I don't like to run that stuff while it's in the middle of a match, and sometimes I actually forget to turn it off, and I apologise. Today I remembered, so you might get the little banner stuff down the bottom. And for those that have never come and watched my streams before or don't know anything about me, I'm a serving military member who's incredibly busy, unfortunately. So I do try and stream where I can. I'm all about the community, and I don't aim to make any revenue off of this. The revenue that is made out of my streaming goes back to the community, so I do giveaways and stuff where I can of Steam keys and things like that. And that's how I roll. I do this for the fun of it, I guess. There's a few tournaments coming up this year. There's the HCA will return, I think it's February. I'll have to check that, but that's not too far off returning as well, because it's almost freaking February, folks. How terrifying. The point today, by the way, is artillery battery. I think that's what they told me, so they're just sorting that out now. They almost capped it. So that's that. There's also another Australian or Oceanic tournament coming up. I can't remember what that's called, but I had Just Fierce advise me of that. He was the leader of the Big D Premier League back at the start of last year, which was what got me into actually streaming comp stuff. So Fiercey's coming back with another tournament of some sort in a couple of months, I think. There's the, I think it's the American Premier League they call it. Yep, the American Premier League. That's coming up sometime, I think it's April scheduled for, and I've thrown my hat in the ring there to be a caster where I'm available. So they've got an extra body. It is only in North America, or it's an American tournament, that one. What else have we got? The European Community League, I think that's finished now. I haven't checked. I didn't stream any of that stuff. The seasonal's finished now. There was that one match left to do, which is the finals. Probably see the APAI back this year. I'm going to bring back one of my little tournaments as well. And I do have the Gauntlet Games that I still want to run, but it got all sort of filled up with all the other comp stuff over the Christmas break. The Gauntlet Games is not actually anything like you've ever seen before once I get it up and running. It's pretty simple, pretty quick one. Anyway, we look like we're probably getting to a point where stuff is just getting finished here. I'm just going to whip across here and have a look at artillery battery, and what we'll do is we'll get my head off the screen and we will get the right thing up. Here we go. Let's have a hot shot at this here. Look, ready? Oh, shit works, folks. Who would have thunk it that I've managed to enter 2023 and stuff is actually working. I can hear bullets going. I feel like it's kicked off already. I really do. I don't know how these things start. They were doing some transition stuff, and now bullets are flying. And have a look at it. So we're fighting over artillery battery, and I'm going to get tied in on the action here as I can. that caught me off guard. I did not expect it to already be started. The point of this is that someone's got to cap this point. Okay, that's the whole point of it, and that's the point right there. So we're going to zoom in on that. You can see the garrisons over the back there where Chimera have set up, so that's their spawn garrisons and so on the other side and that. But let's get into it. Look, we've got the first death. We've got first deaths everywhere. We're going to get right down into the action here, and we're going to see what happens. The artillery battery itself, you can see they're 260 meters off into the distance around those buildings. So we're going to keep that as a focal point for this stream, so that we know who's kind of controlling that zone at any given time. Now, they do switch at the 30-minute mark, whatever the status of it is, then they'll reset and they'll swap sides. So at the moment, we've got Chimera on the Axis side. They're the blue players on the screen. As you can see, their clan name there anyway. And 10th are the allies. They're the orange players. There's probably not a lot of advantage or disadvantage between the two sides when it comes down to this level of things. The reason I say that is because there's no tanks and stuff in here, and there is a bit of an advantage there for the Axis side with tanks, I think. I don't think that was patched out in any way across Christmas with Kharkov's release. But I'd have to refresh myself on that. It's been a good month since I've actually looked at any of this stuff. The rifle side of things, the Germans still have the single shot. The Allies have the clip shot for their actual rifle. So I think that is an advantage to some point, but you'll see a lot of the players will actually be running MP40s or whatever on the German side anyway, or the Axis side anyway, which kind of negates that whole single shot rifle thing. Those that are good rifle shots will be using their rifles anyway. We've got a bit of a push here from 10th coming down the south. It's kind of cleaned up some of the Chimera team, but it's not really getting anywhere too far at the moment. I guess the Chimera guys will have defense in depth here, and they're getting flanked anyway. No, that was friendly. So I'm guessing that was the shot from the north. Nice shot there. The 10th will be trying to get their OPs in nice and close to try and get press on the point. And I'm assuming they can slot OPs down wherever they want. Chat, by the way, there's a whole bunch of people in chat that will no doubt have played some of this 18v18 already, because I think it's a sign up of 50 or 60 people. They're allowed to, a team is allowed to put up to 60 people on a list that can be plucked to be used for this, which is great. It gives so much flexibility for availability. But of course, you know, you might have 30 players at any given time that want to play and only 18 on the field. What that does for us, chat, though, is for those of us that don't know a lot about this tournament so far, I'm encouraging chat to kind of fill in some of those gaps in knowledge for the community out there, and I encourage vigorous chat around what's going on and how it's played out. Certainly, I'd be interested in hearing feedback about what folks have thought about the tournament itself, given that this is the first time I've been engaged with it in any way. You know, and I do like the tight fight stuff. We'll get down and have a look at what's going on here with this little hedge fight that's going on, and we just keep that background stuff there where we can actually watch it. Diesel there having a bit of a tag team across the hedge with Fuse. You can see, oh, nice shot through the hedge there. That was great kill. That is a really great kill looking through the hedge. Nerdig is, I think that's pronounced that, Nerdig, is chucking a grenade over there to wake up Diesel and entice and let him know that he's inbound. All rockets as well. This could be interesting. Entice walking straight into this one. No, he's on top. When you're going to kill someone, fucking kill him. That's what I say. Nerdig has just gone with a snapshot rocket to the face, 10 centimeters in front of him. So into that. Oh, that's such a good capture. I love that stuff. Look at that, though. Chimera has really reinforced down here. What it means, though, I think, is maybe they're thinning out a little bit at the top here. Certainly, this seems to be where the 10th is trying to do their main push. Let's get up there and have a bit of a look-see. And they are creeping in there. Jig's trying to throw a grenade over the top there and pick up Puck. Puck Clut? 6-puck Clut. Oh, he's down. That's gone. Bearded there on the edge of the hedge there. You can see, because of the smoke that's there, Mugshot's just been picked up. Bearded's going to know that there's people there, and he's just picked one up in the back shot. And so they've actually run past each other somehow here. And a little bit of hedge work there, a little bit of smoke work there. Bearded's in a bit of trouble here, though, because he's camping pretty well there, though. I've got to admit, he's doing pretty well there, picking off people as they come in. And he's got that subby, as I said before, having the 40 is a good weapon to use in these kind of tight fights. That's what Bearded's play will be. That's what I'd be doing, at least anyway. I tend to be a bit more aggressive and actually run forward. And there you can see that he's been pincered there and picked off. Smoke's come in now. So 10th are going to get a little bit of a push in here towards the point. You can see Pell, very good player, Pell, usually forward solo. So he's doing a bit of trench work for a change. Let's see how well he can do. We've called him out here, so he's likely to die in the next 10 seconds. Although he has picked off Diablo. Nice shot there. Pell bucking the trend of Cast a Curse. Like it. Lupus has just been nailed by Matthews. So good push coming in. Oh, and a counter kill there from Caledonius. So this is a nice little to and fro here that's going on. Puck's been picked off. Butter's coming down now. Caledonius with a great defensive play there. Good little to and fro there. We're going to keep an eye on that one as we just take a look what's going on down south here. Chimera kind of pushed back a little bit, I think, maybe. This centre point now is getting a bit of pressure. Pell's doing a great job there. Pell is a very good player, folks. I can't deny that at all. Generally in the top 5 players of every match that I've ever seen him in. Can't say whether he's a good guy or not. That's up to Chimera to comment on that in chat, I think. No, he is. Yeah, very good Twitch skills there. You know, first-person shooting skills. We see that all the time. You generally see the solo shot stuff going on from Pell pretty good. Nick's asked me about the title there. Let's see, it's I haven't changed the what the hell. My bad. I apologize. We didn't do that. Did I fix it for the bottom one? No, I did not. All right, we fixed that now. There we go. We will rectify that. Thanks, Nix, for picking that up. Something had to go wrong, mate. If that's the worst that goes bad today, then I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I missed that with the with the fucking scramble that I was doing this morning to try and get two matches going in a row here. So Ted's doing they're doing the pressure push. They're slowly grinding their way in there. You can see they're making one hedge at a time, one little fence pieces at a time. Thanks to Nix for picking that up, though. It's important to get feedback on what's going on. So I'm really glad that he picked that up. I'll fix that in the VOD afterwards too, and I will upload all of today to the YouTube channel that I run as well. So happy days. Fixed in real time. Love that. Love that. All right. This south push from 10th, not going anywhere. This is a great defence here from Diesel, although he took a rocket to the face before. He's certainly working with the team down here. This is their usual defensive team, I think. Heavenly generally is a squad leader in the defensive play. So nice to see her doing something else, probably making her happy too, instead of just being the squad leader defence all the time. And I guess 18s bring that back to you a little bit too, don't they? That you get a few different options to what you're actually playing rather than just being that same thing for tournament stuff all the time. So lovely to see that folks are getting a little bit of variety in their life. There's a few players across the community, I think, that play squad lead and commander very well, but that's what they're often dragged into doing as well, and it can burn them out a little bit. So I do encourage people who, you know, have the ability to potentially sort of lead a little bit, even at squad level, and haven't had that, either haven't had the opportunity or haven't had the courage to maybe step up. And I don't use courage in a derogatory way there. Leadership can be challenging, and putting yourself out there to dictate to others what you require from them can be challenging. We have so many good communities that will support people stepping into the role for the first time, that I do honestly encourage you to stick your hand up and say, look, I wouldn't mind trying. I don't know what I'm doing. And there's so many players that go, hey, we'll support you. And I think the 18s, Nix is pointing out there about the progression of this tournament. I think the 18s is a great testing ground for a lot of people too, to try on leadership roles, squad level leadership roles, because that's what it is. It's squad level leadership. Here's another push coming in from 10th now towards that defensive line of Chimera, and it's the smoke grenade push as per before. A lot of gunfire going in. You can hear a lot of automatic gunfire, and that's the meta, I guess, here. But look at that. Chimera defense is just going so well. What have we got up here? Bearded is actually flanked way north and is cutting them down from that north aspect. That's within the zone. I think it's 4 grid squares. Chat, let me know. Is it 4 grid squares that they're allowed to play in? The same as what I was running for my invitational? I think it is. I'd have to recheck the rules. But certainly well within the remit, the boundaries there. And a great flank play. And 10th trying that surge push there with the squad down the street, and that just didn't work. It didn't work. The Chimera guys are far too good there to allow that to happen. So I think 10th are going to have a bit of a reset there and look at what they're going to do up there. I didn't even check to see what timer we've got here on the match so far, but I reckon we're about halfway through at least. Don't know what time we started at the top. So there you go. There's my first failing on the 18s, is not actually tracking the match timer. I might have to set up. I've got a little clock thing over the side here that I might just set up once the match starts, so I can at least check that every so often. 10th are doing an across the field push here. An interesting strategy. Not sure about this one. They've got... Well, Grant made it all the way to the hedge and then died. And yeah, look... I don't know about that one. There's never going to be enough smoke there without artillery smoke, and of course you don't have artillery smoke. Sparky putting in machine gun fire there. I didn't hear a lot of that as they were running across the field, so perhaps they just got that coordination piece not working as well as they would like. But they're pushing a pretty big front down here. Look, there's at least 7 or 8 players there. Would have got 8 players there, 9 players there on the south flank. Bubbles coming down to try and flank the 10th. They haven't made any ground. I think that's important. Where Almighty is right there in that trench, that's where we saw that rocket in the first minute of the battle. So they're still at the exact same spot as they were before. And they are trying to get around the back there and not succeeding at the moment. The defense from Chimera is just too good at this stage. So I think what we're seeing here is probably 10th not quite getting that combined arms stuff with machine gun supporting fire and things like that. And also not working the flanks well enough. Having said that, of course, as we've been watching here in the bottom left of the screen, Fuse is now trying to do that very thing that they need to do and get someone in on an angle to try and shoot in the back of Chimera. But Cannon Fodder knows that someone's down there and now is pushing Spherical on Overwatch there. Geez, they're good at this, aren't they? The Chimera gang, they're good at this 1-2 stuff. Cannon's going to get caught out here, though. Fuse hasn't even looked. Fuse is just running. How we got away with that, I have no idea. I mean, well done. But where are we on the map? We've got plenty of room here for Fuse to play in. But once he gets down here, he's got the wheat field. There you go. That's going to be quite beneficial. Cannon's looking for Fuse now. Hasn't realised that he's taken the long flank here. So Fuse is going to get away with that. Well played, Fuse. We'll see what Fuse can do with that. That attack on that south flank there from Le Verger has just completely been shut down there by Chimera, so well done to them there. The north flank there, you can see where Tank Butters, all the 10th Mountain guys up there, Matthews and co, are trying to still push down that road. Bearded doesn't look like he's died at any stage there, so we're still shooting from the north, doing pretty much what Fuse is now trying to do from the south here. I think this is going to be a game-changing little play here if Fuse can get in there and take out something. I think they're allowed to take out, they've got OPs, they'll take out OPs, so, you know, Fuse will be able to pick up some of those OPs. He's got a little bit of an open field run here, though. The timing of this looks like it's pretty good. You can see there's nobody from Chimera there looking out this way. They have no idea that Fuse is doing the back pass play. Mr. Cheesecake is on it with those rockets. Yes. Do love a good rocket now, the old meta. Huller now has seen Fuse. I think Fuse has made a mistake. Yes, a terrible mistake there by Fuse in letting the Chimera gang know that he was out there. Huller's now going to have to clear the area, but there's nothing to clear. Fuse is an assault player. So a terrible opportunity, or an opportunity terribly lost there by Fuse. He's just popped up too early and decided to take a shot at someone. His focus should have been trying to work the OPs. I don't know what the start time was, Matt. That's what I'm trying to work out right now, actually, is when the match started. But there would be only about 10 minutes left. I've been streaming for 30 minutes, and I started streaming about 7 minutes before the match starts. So we're in the last 10 minutes now, so it's getting a bit frantic. I reckon maybe it might be stopping at 50 minutes, but I didn't check. I need to get that right for next time. What we've got on the map at the moment, though, as you can see, is that absolutely Chimera are dominating it at this stage, as you would expect, given that they started on the point at least. That's a part of it, but also they, pound for pound, they have been slightly better than the 10th Mountain over time. So, you know, I'll just see if I can get this time. There we go. I've got the chrono thing working for the next match. I'm going to make sure that it's captured. See Chimera now starting to do that. Well, we've got 5 or 10 minutes left. So they're just starting to push out now and to pressure the 10th Mountain area. We'll go up and have a look up north here and see what happened with this major push. So they've shifted, 10th have shifted the bulk of their troops up to the north now. We'll get round behind them and have a look-see here. But Chimera, again, with the... Lane has just pointed out something for me there. You've got 4 grid squares. As I expected, that's what it was. If you step outside the zone, you can be out there for 10 seconds, and then you just get the boot. So there we go. I know that. There's a bunch of rules around it. I'm not going to get too picky on them here. We kind of, not refereeing it, of course, but just to keep an awareness on those sort of things. Look at mugshots, just gone in and ripped up shit there. And this is what Chimera do, as I was saying before. They're now consolidating the defensive line they've got, and they're starting to try and push out into 10th and really just take the fight out to where 10th are even trying to get into the battle, and that sort of stops the pressure on the point in any way. I do think 10th missed the thing around the back there in getting that person to push in and try and take out the OPs. Nix has pointed out the timer on the stream. Yeah, I have actually used it before. I do generally use that. I haven't set it up at this stage, but what we might do is we might do that in the break, because I've got the chrono timer already set up, ready to go with a live output, and I have done that before. I do it with the countdown before the stream starts from the same program, so I'll get that set up in the break so that we at least have an on-screen timer somewhere. It'll take me a minute to set up. I might even have it still set up. Oh no, I've wiped my computer since then, so it won't be still set up, but it'll take me a minute to set up. Okay, this looks like it's all gone Chimera's way, folks, so I don't see 10th actually breaking through this defensive line there. You can see or hear how much gunfire is going on from this fight. There's a machine gun or two trying to put suppressive fire in and get their troops forward, but they're not moving. They're not, you know, the Diablo, Ben Past, Grant are getting down here to this point here, and then just getting picked off. Let's see what President's view is, where he's looking. Yeah, see, look at this. As soon as anybody moves anywhere from this flank, President's just going to strip them of their life, and he's in such a good position down here in this trench. that it's very hard for anybody to see him in the initial obs of where he actually is hiding. And what he's also done clever, by the way, he's got stuff behind him. Where you want to set up is, if you can fit in here and it lets you work, is here. The reason is because then you're covered on that right flank from anyone shooting at you, pretty much, and you've also got something behind you, and you kind of blend into the background. So until you shoot, they don't have that idea where you are. And look at how well he's doing there. It's pretty brutal trying to get through there for 10. I don't understand why they're not trying to flank a little bit further north. Having said that, of course, from this distance, I can see they do have a pretty open field there, so maybe that's what's stopping them. But Bearded got up there from Chimera and set up a defensive position, so surely it's possible. Almighty here trying the late notice creep to try and get no running through the field screaming here. This is a deliberate crawl. Almighty trying to get across there and has succeeded so far. Cannon fodder's too deep in that trench to be able to look out this way, of course. Huller is probably not going to look this way as well. Hidden there, I wonder where Hidden's looking. Oh, Hidden's going to go look. Hidden's going to go flank down there and pick up, or Almighty's going to get a rude shock. An Almighty rude shock with Hidden pushing down on him now. And he'll see him as soon as he gets over this hedge. Or maybe not. No, Hidden's going to set up on the fence, on the position there, not know that Almighty's leopard crawling past him. Almighty's about to hear a machine gun rip right behind him and go, oh, what the fuck is that? A little turn on the ground going, ooh, ooh. But he'll just keep crawling. The play Almighty has to play here is to just ignore anything that's going on, unless he's being chased. Ignore anything that's going on and try and get around the back. Hidden in shadow there is killing the 10th as they come across. Almighty will likely get up around into this wheat field again. It's such a good place to go through the wheat fields. You can run through there screaming and no one's going to bother you. Just see if Huller actually picked him up from a distance. No, he did not. Oh, someone else shooting at him? Maybe. Yes, absolutely. So someone is on defensive. Lupus? No way. I have no idea who that is that's shooting at him there. But Almighty's going to go forward and try and kill Hidden in shadows. He's not going to be able to see him, I don't think. He's going to set up an OP. That's what I'd expect. There'd be an OP in here from Almighty. They're allowed to do that, I'm assuming. There we go. There it is back here. Oh, I couldn't see it. I figured it'd be here. So their Quick Nicks is indicating that they believe it'll be 45 minutes that it'll start. So we'll get that fixed for the next one. So there's about 4 minutes left in this battle, which makes sense based on my timer. Can't be too far off. Cannot be too far off. Boom, nice shot there from Otto. So Chimera now are aware of the fact that there's a squad coming in the back here. This is going to be a late play here from 10th. It might be a good one. They've got 3. They've got some cap weight coming. There's 5, 6. There's cap weight coming in. I'm expecting the point will start to turn potentially. Oh, Otto's been picked off across the field. Oh, wow. The defense from Chimera on point. Takes the first 2 coming in. I heard the fucking hiccups now. Thanks very much for that, universe. Just when you go to get excited, the hiccups come and bite you. Nerdig is coming in now. There's a machine gun around underneath us here. This is a good little push from 10th. They've got that spawn point as well now, of course, but Hidden and Heavenly there. Huller and Spherical now all in there going, oh, we got a little bit of a challenge back here. They're in our back lines. It is such a good defensive point from the Axis perspective. The Allied side, it is a bit more challenging, as mentioned in chat there. But this is what you need to do. You need to get that flank going, and they have now 10th with the dying throes of this match. Remember, ladies and gents, I do know this about the rules. If we are starting to see cap occur and time is called, time is not actually going to be called at how do I phrase this? They won't call time when it's up. If there's a cap going on, they will allow overtime. So we may well see some overtime in this first match after what has been a very dominating play from Chimera for the first 25 plus minutes. We've now finally seen 10th understand they need to get the flank action happening. It is cracking open the Chimera defense a little bit here because they've had to pull back multiple bodies. You can see now Mugshot and Lupus up on the left with VK as well coming in from that north side, and 2 more up there as well. So they're spawning people in to try and deal with this back point. And then, of course, there, Cannon and Heavenly Huller and Hidden off dealing down there. What that means then, of course, is that 10th can now get a bit more pressure from that northeast side and send some more bodies in. And it's just made it a bit tougher from Chimera's defense perspective. I do think Chimera are going to be able to hold on here, though. I really do. I think they've got the skills and the numbers here, even though they've got dirty tankers on the field there. Kingsley, I'm looking at you. They do have the skills to be able to defend this point pretty well, and I think they're going to hold. I think they're going to hold that back play here from 10th. Pretty good one, but I think the OP is now gone. And so the last play from 10th will be this north push that we can see there. Rockets coming in now. Oh, that's a big rocket. Went all the way through everything. They've never really gotten anywhere up here, have they? Tank is the furthest that we've seen the 10th actually make ground up here at all. That's the furthest point they ever got. They were down here at one stage. They're no longer here. They're all the way back here. We're seeing a flank come up here from 6 Putt Clut, and there was not enough of this up here for this first match. Further north is out of bounds. I think, it's out of bounds. It's kind of irrelevant up here. So this is their foregrids. They didn't use this area up here at all. Really well enough. There's the big push now. As I said, this is where I'd expect 10th were doing the last bum rush, which is what they're doing here. So they are getting some numbers across the fields now. I don't think they're going to have time. You've got to. I don't know. I just feel like it's some of the attacks here were too linear. Attacking this same point over and over against such a strong defensive team. Without some sort of even flanking 50 or 100 meters, so where you spread your squad out over 3 sort of areas and do crossfire. We did see that from Chimera here, where one or two of their players were coming up here and shooting the 10th guys in the flank. This is out of bounds here, so 10th guys in the flank, so it clearly works. A little bit of flank cover there is actually working. Sounds like all the gunfire is finishing up here. There's not much left here. 45 minutes just over on the clock. So I think it's going to tick over at 45. Chimera have won this first one. That's I'm quite confident in that. I'm going to have a little sip of my drink here. Good play from them, I think. I think they worked the angles a bit better than 10th in this first match. So we'll crack on into the second match after a short break and a reset. I don't know how long it'll be. We'll just see how that goes. So there's the 45-minute mark. See if anyone writes something in chat to say, match 5, 2 minutes. Oh, okay, there you go. The match chat. I've got that turned off because I don't like that coming up in the middle of matches. But perhaps we need it for this. But we'll have a timer next time anyway, and I'll trigger that once the match starts. I'll just set that up quickly while we're in the break. But a convincing win here from Chimera. Good little flank action there from 10th. Really did make a difference. And that's not too bad. So from them, so they'll learn something out of that first match, and they'll see how they go for future matches. Seeing there, Mavs talking about too far back. I'm interested to hear what sort of perspective you want for these 18s. I don't really know where we want the camera for it. I might try and sort of get down to this level where I am now a little bit more, following Butters, you can see. And if that's what our viewers prefer, well, I always get different feedback from different people for different things. But for 18s, it's a bit different because it is such squad level play. So I'm keen to hear what sort of angles that you want from me, please, team. That'd be great for the 18s. So there we go. And of course, we've got a 5-minute delay, so I'll get your answers in about 5 minutes, won't I? Pell now working around on Butters. He's run straight past him. Butters played the smart game there and just didn't bother. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the round should be over, surely. Maybe it's not. There's Pell's actually found him. Nice work, Pell. He was pretty well hidden. Back over this way, have a look at what Colour Dennis and Bearded are up to. Bearded, of course, doing some great flank shooting. Clearly a pretty good shot. He's picking up Bob now there on the fence line. Bob's got to move. And he's not managed to get away. Tank now knows there's someone up there shooting. There we go. That's game. Game's called by Fable. So little bit longer than I was expecting there. So what we will do while we're waiting for the reset, we're going to get this little timer going. Let's get this going. So we're going to pull this up. I should have all of this information here. I won't do the be right back screen or anything. I'll talk you through how this stuff sort of works. So it's a text box that I add. You can see there. I'll bring it over to the main screen. And we will call it Battle Timer. Yep, I don't have it because I wiped it previously, and we'll click OK, and we'll read from a file, and we'll browse for that file, and we'll just have to work out where this file is gone. Output format. Battle over. Start that. 30 minutes. Yeah, okay, cool. Now I just need to work out how to, oh, there it is, copy to clean for. So I just need to find the directory, which is listed there for me. Text files, and it's chrono down text. There we go. And let's see what that looks like. It looks like nothing at the moment because it's not on the screen. Move the son of a bitch. Why you do this? I want to move up, does it? Sometimes I hate this stupid fucking program. So we'll do position of 0, 0. Oops, 0, 0. And we'll do size of 300 versus 300. And there it is. It's on the screen now. And it's fucking with me. It really is. Bitch of a program. Here we go. Still going. Oh, it's transform, edit, transform. It keeps making the size of it ridiculously large. 300. Okay. Okay. Nope. Not working for me. Remove it and I'll try again. So they do the reset on this thing and they flip it back the other way and it becomes a red cap zone, as you can see in the background there. So just do this again. Visible. Get alignment left top. Yeah, read from a file. Come on, you bastard. Chrono down. Okay, there's the map reset. Okay, and then we'll just quickly whip across that way. Why won't it do that? If Nix is there, he can tell me what I'm doing wrong while I'm working my way through this. Because it won't bloody... keeps doing its size as a ridiculous size. Do that as that. 100, 100, no bounds. In top center. Close. Put it up here. Ah, there it goes again. Fuck me. So it's doing this thing where it's changing the size of it to size. That. Like that. Yeah, let's see if it works. Ready? Start. Nope, apparently not. Apparently it does not like doing it. Alright, we'll just get ourselves into a squad here. Locked armor unit. They're just doing the reset of everything, so we will get that set up as well. Here we go. Oh, no, they're resetting again. Okay, there you go. There's the timer. It's working. It's working. Oh, probably a bit too big, isn't it? 200. 200 by 80, like that. Does that look good? Look all right. There you go. So we'll stop that and we'll start it again. There you go. Look at that. It's working. It's working fine. All right. So editing on the fly there. We'll see what that looks like once we actually get the map set up. I feel like, yeah, the map's being reset again. So, oh, of course, because they've got to fight over the same point. That's what it is. Idiot. So, what am I talking about there? They've got to fight over the same point, so they've got to keep doing map resets until the artillery battery point comes up. Mavs just indicated to me that he was referencing the OP placement when he said too far back. Yeah, it's a 5-minute chat delay kills me. But I'm keen, Mav, to know from you and all others what angles you want where you want me to actually do the camera work. Do we want more tight stuff in the 18s? Do we want to get right down and gritty, like sort of like in this level kind of stuff? We'll just do that nice and slow. Or do we want to have it nice and far back? Or a blend, of course, is probably what we're going to end up with. But do you guys want to see... Nix, I agree with you on that comment about the time, by the way, mate. Do you guys want to see the point of view following? So we're going to do another map reset here. It still hasn't come up right. Now you'll see I've changed the headings up the top there too, where Chimera have got the Allies and 10th Mountain have got the Axis now, because they do change sides. So yeah, we will sit here and do map resets until things get good. So there we go. Mav's talking about some more close-up of gun battles would be nice. Quickness caught some nice and pivotal solo man pushes yesterday by Don Vice. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to work a little bit more on that in this next one. I do like getting down into the trenches and following people around a bit. So what we might do is we might pick a couple of players that are doing advanced lines and things like that. Get in with the G key behind their head and zoom out a bit and do those follows and things like that. Pick some of the key players, certainly for 10th and... Chimera, I know a lot of those players that do that sort of stuff, so I'm kind of it should be okay to be able to work out which ones to follow at what time. So yeah, all right. Just going to go on mute for a sec while we're doing these resets. We might pop up a little bit of a background music thing because it's kind of not getting anywhere at the moment, is it? What's going on here? Oh, just waiting for that screen to come up. Sick. Happens. Map, no, it's not the right point again. So yeah, we'll just put ourselves on a little bit of a background thing at the moment while we wait for this to actually come up. All right, we're back. We're live. They've managed to get it sorted by the look of this, so I'm just going to set up quickly there and get myself into the deploy spot. So they've managed to get it on the Allied side and the correct spot. Bit of a challenge there, actually. I think the devs could help out the tournament scene a little bit with that, couldn't they? Maybe not. You know, these things do cost money and time to actually get sorted out, but definitely little housekeeping pieces like that sort of can be frustrating for players. So as we said before, we're fighting on artillery battery. We're going to get in a little bit closer this time and have a look at some of the more funky hand-to-hand combat kind of stuff. We've got the timer thing. I'll make sure that's getting ready. I will probably need, what will I need to do there? I will just need to hit that button over the side there. So we'll just have to make sure that I remember to do that exactly when the battle starts. Fucking caught me off guard though last time. There was kind of, oh yeah, we're just doing this, the turn, the battle's turning, everything's bam, battle's on. So what it must be is that once they actually capture the point, when that capture happens, then it's game on and bullets fly. That seems to be how it worked. So I'm expecting that we will have the same thing here. So let's keep a tight eye on this map and have a look at that. Probably useful right now, though, to have a bit of a look at the two teams, isn't it? And see who's actually playing today, talk through some of the names that we know, some of those players that we've seen over the tournament scene in the last 12 months. Go to the Chimera side first, of course, who are the mob that I've cast a lot of matches for this last 12 months to 8 months, something like that. And very familiar faces there. I talked about Pell before, but Caledonius, definitely Mugshot, Jinx, Lupus, and Brady, cannon fodder as well. These are all consistent Chimera comp players. Who is new though there, of course, is Kingsley, who I've not seen in the Chimera side of things until recently. So nice switch across there. We usually see with Chimera there's defensive teams, squads and attacking squads. A bit different here, I guess. You would have your primary defensive squads and things like that. As a commander on the scene, so to speak, of how you run your 18v18 defense, you'd have your dedicated players for returning. Who is new there though? President Nak or Nach. I have not seen that name before. So that's a name change or someone new. Welcome to them if it's someone new. Back if it's otherwise. Across to the 10th side here, there's a couple of familiar names there. Diablo is one that I've seen before. Tank, of course, and Colonel Matthews, the distinguished leader of the 10th in a lot of the comp scene stuff. I think he still holds the position of manager of the comp scene, or the equivalent of. Corsair and Chuckles I've seen before. Nerdig, of course, if I'm saying his name right, I'm really proud of myself. I've seen around for quite a while. Lena is also familiar to me in that particular group. Who else do we have? Butters, yeah. Diablo says Sparky. All right, they're all familiar names. Yeah, so there you go. So that's your teams today, folks. They're the mob that are out doing their thing. I think that if you had a match prediction counter up in front of you right now, you would probably see that Chimera are the stronger team. So Blanks just asked a question 5 minutes ago in chat for the new players. Why are they pushing strong points? All right. So in the 18v18 tournament, you can see on the map here in front of you, there's all the capture points, and they are different spawns depending on the map reset. Somewhere in here I have a map for you, but I'm not going to bring it up, but that has all of the cap points for this particular map. So in any given battle, for the 90 minutes that the map is actually active, it will have 5 cap points in various locations. So there'll be 1 of 3 down here, 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 and 1 of 3 down here. For this competition, they have to fight over a particular point that's been dedicated or designated for this match. So they're artillery battery. So that's why we were seeing their map resets before. So the idea here is that St. Mona Glace, this cap point here, Crossroads, and all the other cap points, they're irrelevant for this 18v18 tournament. Both teams will be fighting over the 4 grid square area that I'm circling right now, over artillery battery. What happens is one of the teams will control it at the start of the fight, and there's a 30-minute time period where whoever holds it at the end of the 30 minutes is the winning team for that round. And there's up to 3 rounds for this whole match. So it's the best of 3. So if Chimera have won the first round, if they win the second round, then that's it. GG's, Chimera won. And that's how it works. They swap sides here, so Chimera now being on the right-hand side of the screen, they're the allies, and the 10th Mountain are now rushing across the field to capture artillery battery and set it up for the match. So once that starts to cap, we'll be very close to match start. Chimera, you can see here, are setting up in their pre-positions for the match. This is all part of the rules. The idea is that it's just infantry level play. So there are no tanks, there's none of this other stuff here, no artillery, no commander abilities, none of that sort of thing. Once we get down onto the ground here and have a bit of a look at what actually is there. So this is the cap point itself, all right? And we're hovering over it now. As you can see my little icon there, I'm hovering over it. So the cap weight, if you're inside of that circle that's over the cap point, is worth more than if you're in the 4 grid square. So you're still capping when you're in this 4 grid square, but the actual weight is less. I don't know the maths of it. It's written somewhere. I could look it up. Maybe someone in chat knows this stuff off the top of their head. They could actually tell us. But you gain greater cap weight if you're inside there. So the idea for whichever team isn't owning this point is to try and get people into that circle to turn it into their favour so that they capture the sector, which is this whole column, by the way, the 2 columns, by the way. Whoever owns that pair of columns at the 30-minute mark is the winner. If at the 30-minute mark it's being contested, and that is where the blue bar here you can see is actually partially red or vice versa, it means that no team holds it outright, and the game will continue on until one team holds it outright. And I've seen battles that's gone for 5 or 6 or 7 minutes in other tournaments afterwards, the overtime side of things. 4 teams in the 18v18, and now this is my opinion as a comp streamer and as a military person. I believe in combined arms, and combined arms is the thing that has done very well in most of the tournament scene that I've watched. Those teams that can capitalize on combined arms win more often than not. Combined arms is where, and I'll give you an example over here. So this is, you can see the Chimera guys in the background. They've got to come through this piece of terrain here to get down to there. That's what they want to cap. And you can see that there's a lot of open field area here and a little bit of cluster up here where you can actually have protection. And the difference in protection is between what we call cover and concealment. So cover is this brick wall. No one can shoot me through the brick wall while I'm behind it. Concealment is this hedge. If I'm standing here, bullets can still travel through that hedge. So I'm concealed from observation, but if bullets come this way, I will get shot. And that's the difference. So out here in the open zone, the only cover you will have is 0. Concealment will be smoke. If you're running across this paddock or this field, you want lots and lots and lots of smoke. Ultimately, you don't want to be running across the paddock because the quality of teams here, they're going to pick you off and shoot you pretty damn quick. The issue for 10th Mountain in that last match was that they were trying to push down this sector here, and we'll just back up a little bit and watch. Look, so this is what they're trying to push down. It's a very easily defensible position. You can put someone on the left there where we're looking right now, someone on the right here where we're looking right now, and a set of eyes up the middle of the road here. And that's 3 bodies to cover that approach. You reinforce it with additional bodies if the enemy are sending more people down. There's trench systems to reinforce through. So if your OP's back here somewhere, you need to run forward to get up to the defensive line. No one can shoot at you. You've got cover on the way up. These are things that good squad leaders and good players, to be honest, but good squad leaders and commanders understand this type of stuff when they're directing their troops to advance or defend in areas. So the way I look at, as a person of what I've explained before, this particular part of the map is that the best approach is here, but it's also the area that's going to be probably most heavily defended by the enemy. So therefore, we need to try and work out a way of getting shots in from like the north here or the south into whatever's defending in amongst this tree line here, and they're behind that building and everything, so that we shoot them in the sides. What that means is if I'm advancing from over this way, I'm going to have people looking down the road here, but not 5 or 6 people, because it's too many for defenders to defend. You can defend, 2 or 3 defenders can hold off half a dozen people. So I'm going to have a couple putting pressure on this way, maybe a machine gun, maybe someone who's a good shot with a single shot over distance or whatever, because it's a couple hundred meters. And I'm going to try and flank up here. And then as this flanking action is starting to happen, I'm distracting the enemy up that way. Then maybe I'm starting to push down here. And this is the coordinated combined arms kind of stuff. So some machine gunners maybe down this way, putting some fire support back on that angle up to the north, and suppressing stuff from kind of like maybe there all the way up to there where that building is. So if we get down in here and have a look, you can see up that way. You can see at that distance, not through that tree. All right. So I could technically get someone here with a machine gun or 2 and sort of be covering that huge arc there. You can see the entire screen that we're looking at right there. And then while that suppressive fire is coming in, maybe I'm running some people down this hedgerow here, down this road where there's this, or maybe I'm running them on the other side, and maybe I'm distracting up the north. And I'm doing it on multiple angles at the same time, which then overwhelms the enemy's ability to actually look. Because if you're getting shot from the left, you're going to turn left, and then suddenly you're getting shot from the right as well. It's like, well, which way do you fucking look? Left and right? That's pretty hard. So those are the kinds of considerations at the comp level that both individual players are thinking about and commanders and squad leaders and stuff should be looking at. All right. I hope that helped people. I mean, I'm no brilliant comp player. I don't do that stuff. I do the casting of it. I'm a senior officer in our defence force, and I've been a troop on the ground. So I kind of, there we go, 3-1. Thank you, Repo. 5 minutes ago, Repo was listening to me. That's what that proves. Thanks, 3-1. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting yourself into the cap circle to actually get more cap weight quicker. That's an objective. And we saw that before with, and I'll zoom in a bit here because we don't need to be that far out, do we? We saw that with 10th. It's game on, shit, isn't it? It is. It's game on. Fuck it. I did miss it. There you go. So we're going to be 10, 20 seconds out on that timer. I apologise for that. But that rocket was probably the shot that I should have noticed. So it is G on, folks. And the big push is going to be up north here. So we're going to get those eyes on up here early. You can see these guys, they're all using cover to get in towards the point. So nobody can see them as they push forward. But as we get up to the edge of the hedgerow here and this trench, that's where we're going to start seeing eyes on. There we go. Bam! Straight up. Jinx was ready for that. Or Bubbles, one of them, picked off old mate straight up. So, and now we can see there people trying to do the little duck, dodge, dive, dip and dodge, get their head around. Jinx doing a great push here down towards this flank, but he's out in the middle of the open field. That's got to be bad news for him. They've missed him. Not the greatest shooting there. Oh, brilliant. How? That's the question I ask. How is Jinx still alive running across that field? He's picked off puck clot as well. He's finally been nailed. Jinx there, a little MVP play. Great work there. Really shut down that 10th first defensive line. Incredible stuff from Jinx. And Butters sort of supporting him, of course, there as well. But, I mean, that's what happens sometimes. You come across someone, you've got the drop on them, you've got the cup, but they're just better at shooting, or maybe there's a ping thing sometimes. I don't know. I don't think that's an issue in this particular one. So there it is, folks. And we got Chimera now have pushed up early onto that defensive line that we saw earlier. This is a real problem for 10th right now. This here is a real problem for 10th. Chimera have got on it real quick. And I thank you, Blank, for that subscription, mate. Thank you very much. As I said at the start of the stream, all of the revenue that this stream earns go back to the community and giveaways and stuff. So watch this space as we enter 2023. I give away Steam keys for various things. I might give away a $100 Steam key and you get to pick what you want, sort of stuff. That's what I do. All right, so look, really good play here from Chimera. They've got the drop on that first defensive point. Oh, Lupus has just been picked off, though. Flank fire there from the buildings at the cap point. Well done there from the 10th. Kingsley right in the point, though. I've got to get a look at this. He's an automatic rifleman. That's what his symbol is. He's picked off one. Is he going to get flanked? Is he going to get flanked? Ben Pass is coming behind. Oh, yes, he is. There you go. Kingsley with a really good play to get in there. Rocket coming past. Shit. All right, don't be standing there, cameraman. You'll get shot. Mr. Cheese trying to push in. Cheese, Chimera have come up real fast here, haven't they? And Cheese is going to get picked off by Lena, I think. Yeah, nice defensive play by Lena. Very, very deliberate play there as a defensive player. So he's got President coming in behind him, though. Well, let's stick there and watch this. Really, really good play there. And he'll be waiting again. Very hard for an attacking player to come around and try and assault these types of positions. You just have no fucking idea what you're walking into when you're walking around the corner. Oh, he's missed him. Oh, that was almost deadly. But Lena's managed to pick him up. Well done. But he's got enticed flanker from the north there now. God, this match is a bit more interesting, isn't it? 10th are holding onto the point, but only just. Chimera, oh, 3 in the open field. Oh, travesty. Brilliant defensive play there. Lena's been picked off by him, though. But they were running across that open field. Remember, we talked about how you would need lots of everything to get across this field. Well, Chimera have gone with lots of nothing. The 3 dead bodies prove what a bad idea that was. Even the old battlefield run jump probably didn't help him there at all. It's the smoke. It's come out late. President's like, yeah, fucking hell, I'm not doing that again. So that's well, lessons have been learned here today, ladies and gentlemen. It is so nice after you do an explanation of something for a team to come along and demonstrate the positive and negative component of that. So there we go. You can see now that Chimera have managed to not only flank that person, I think it was Diesel that was in that trench, not Diesel, it was something else starting with D. Diablo. They've flanked Diablo there. They've managed to throw smoke. They've managed to get across the field, and they've managed to, well, they got into the trench, but geez, that defense is pretty good there from 10th. I think it's Grant up there in that building. He's managing to put fire down pretty well, and it's very hard to pick him off inside that building without a rocket or something. So really good play there. And there's 10th. They've capped the point now. This is a shitty place to attack from down here, and I think Chimera are experiencing that as well. But perhaps, I mean, this may just be a distracting force down here from Chimera. You can see they're not really pushing that hard. Heavenly, very deliberately, just kind of trolling away along that fence line and putting bullets in. Oh, no, they do have a few people here, but look, they're getting picked off pretty easily. It's just a single line attack down here, isn't it? You can't go anywhere. Once you get to that line where Diesel Cannon and Huller are right now, where do you go? I mean, you've got to try and get to that trench, but it's still a 20-metre run across open field to get to it. Cannon's about to do that. Is Hans on him? Maybe he's leopard crawling across. Yeah, leopard crawling the way there. I think that's what 10th were doing earlier, is making their way down through that with the leopard crawl. Otto there is, look, you know, he's defending in that trench. He's just going to do the crawl along. Chimera throwing a few numbers at this, actually. That's interesting. We're going to watch that. And we'll see what's happening up north here now. Look at how far in, how deep in Chimera guys are compared to what we saw from 10th earlier. So the comparison is where Lupus is over there. That's as far as 10th got when they were attacking from that right-hand side of screen. Chimera are right in it now. They're still not getting to the point easy because 10th's defense is pretty good. But there is an opening there. And that's better than what we saw from 10th trying to get in here. So I think Entice is in a bit of trouble here. Diablo's flanking up quite nicely there. Once you get in here, well, where do you go? Because it then starts to be open fields in all directions with the defensive line there. Entice kind of really just has to wait for a bit of support here or try and find some OPs. And the trouble with waiting is we're going to see there shortly. They know he's in there. Well, he's dead now. So there you go. Game over, man. Game over. Mr. Cheese doing the same push in that central area there. So Chimera do have the control of this little area here. Where do you run your OP to? Well, let's see what OPs we've got up for me. I've got one. See, they're deep in with their OPs. Their OPs are actually in the point. And you can see there's a good push coming in north and south. The Chimera players have definitely got the upper hand here over the 10th. There's definitely a slight improved skill set between the two teams in Chimera's favour. Chimera now having managed to get into this point here have pushed a 10th right back onto that pretty much the last defensive line. Where Almighty's coming out of there is the bottom of the circle. So he's actually defending on his cap circle and getting picked off there from deliberate fire south. We'll get across and have a look at this from the back, shall we? Look what it looks like. So Nerdig is coming across now. I just don't understand the running across the open field stuff. I really don't. And there you go. Yeah, that's what you get rewarded with, is a shot in the head. There's a nice little grenade. That was a grotty little kill, that one, wasn't it? I love it. So these guys are defending right on the bottom of that circle. You see? Look, there's that trench system we're looking at. It's right there. So they've got nowhere to fall back to. So Chimera are able to push up now. Huller's just been picked off nicely there by a grenade. They'll be able to push up. So 10th will be feeding troops down here to try to defend against that. The trouble is, Chimera also controlled this centre area here pretty well. Lena there having a tag play with Entice. They probably know each other there. I reckon Lena's going to get the drop on Entice. Lena seems to be a very well-considered player. Look at this play. Really working up there with those angles of shooting. But Entice, no slump either. This is a great matchup. It really is a great matchup. Entice picking off people in the background. Oh, there it is. Lena's popped up for the shot and just missed. Entice now knows someone's danger close. But he's getting flanked around the back there. There's a grenade. I think that might have fragged him for a little bit of a blood wound there. Diablo's coming around on the left there. Entice is running straight in towards him. Look at that push down south there. Almighty's come out again. Oh, it's tight. Oh, nice kill from Diablo. Great defense there from 10th. They pushed out to that little trench. So they'll hold that area there, and they've gained the upper hand. 20th, Chimera down the bottom there, still pushing in quite nicely. Bubbles holding flank here while the rest of the team start to push up still from Chimera as they reinforce. But now they've lost that position where Cheese was before. They're going to have trouble running down that fence line because they're going to get shot from that middle sector of map. I guess the thing for Diablo and Co to worry about is if they use the intelligence that we put down range before and trust their southern flank guys and just make sure they're looking north. But Diablo's actually looking the other way. So there's an opportunity here. VK going for the open field run. Perhaps the second time it might work because it didn't the first time. And he's going to get there because no one's looking north for oh, there he is. Diablo's going to see him now. And there Diablo's looked north again. He's picked him off in the field. So Diablo trading every 10, 20 seconds. He's pushing north and south side of that gun that he's defending. And that's just enough to be able to cover that north flank. And look, he's setting up now looking for people running across the field. I'd be working some other angles there, or at least putting some smoke up again. Because there's the smoke. That's what they wanted. President, I think, dropped that down. Oh, and he's been knocked off his perch by a machine gun up north, I'm guessing. Yeah, look at that. Lovely gunfight coming in from up north there. Gunfire coming in from up north there. And you can see now Chimera trying that flank as well, which is what we wanted to see from 10th before. Chimera doing a little bit better, of course, because that's as far as 10th got before. But now Chimera now on the next hedgerow. And again, it means that 10th are actually defending on this spawn point. Whereas Chimera's got that time with theirs, if they get pushed back, that they can spawn and cut 10th's push. How's our timer looking there? 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes left, folks, because we did start 30 seconds late because I'm a muppet. So we know now that time is up and running, we can see at least track what's going on there. Here's the push up north. Again, Chimera are good at this, where they go, right, let's do this thing. And they've got a good spread out force there, but gosh, those open field runs are not working for them at all. And the grenade throwing is on point from and the gunfire. Look at that, Bearded's down as well. This is a very good defensive line up here from 10th. They have shut down the Chimera push time and time again. It seems that machine gunner is an absolute killer. Picks off mudshot. This was the spot earlier where we didn't see 10th do a very good job, and they did defend this. They did lose this top sector to Chimera. But they've consolidated that pretty well. Having said that, though, now you can see Chimera working the flanks. So, you know, where Jinx, President, and Kingsley are, they're coming in on 3 different angles there. And that's what they're doing well. The thing for 10th, of course, is they've got people behind the Chimera line now, but they have to try and chop off this feed. And Butters will probably do that. We'll go over and have a look what he's doing with that. He's in amongst those buildings there. There, look, first kill, but look how many he's got coming in. 5 of them that are going to wake him up a little. Beard is just running straight past that. Doesn't care for it because it's about trying to get to the cap point. Nice kill from BK there. Great work there to pick off the defending player Butters. So this is a nice push up here from Chimera, who again have just managed to crack what was a pretty good defense from 10th. It's just starting to get pulled apart. Matthews, you generally tend to see wherever he's going, it means he knows there's a problem there and he's heading up there. I'm not sure if he's actually the commander of this match, but he's got the same... Oh, he's got the same problem. Oh, nice kill there. 1 down. Pell's going to pick him off down the middle of the field there, I reckon. Yep, look, there it is. He's picked off 2, though, Matthews, so he's trimmed him down a little bit. I think the south flank has been lost a little bit there from... Chimera, though. Spherical moving into that middle area now there. Spherical, very good player. Good bloke, helps me out sometimes with stuff and things. So he's pushing in to try and take that middle sector. The thing is, yeah, look, see, he's getting picked off again. They've just got too many angles there to kill you on. 10th have. And Chimera still just slowly crawling their way up north here. This is the best angle to come in on, I reckon. Look at that terrain in the background there they've got to play with. And we'll just pull up the map very quickly. Oh, shredded. Not going anywhere. There's a paddock here, or field, sorry, Australian paddock, and this here as well we're looking at. So there's lots of trees and stuff and lots of wheat, and that means that it's a good angle to push in from. It's still in the play for the Chimera team, and they can pick up inadvertently OPs from the... There's a rocket to nowhere. Bob obviously saw something that disturbed him. They can pick up OPs from 10th and really shut down their reinforcing line. And so we've seen it. We can see at least 6 or 7 players here from Chimera coming in. Let's have a look at that. A little bit more panoramic for a moment. Yeah, look at that. So they've just got to get bearded around to that right a bit further, around the top of those buildings that you can see there. This is where you spread your force out a little bit. You've got to get you guys to work in 2s and 3s because it's about gunfire, but work the angles as well over a 100-meter period on the ground. And so Bearded and Lupus flanking right. President holding sort of in the middle there, and Caledonius and Jinx trying to push through that trench system to the south. That is the 3-pronged attack that I talk about. That's the combined arms stuff where you communicate across those 2 teams, those 2 squads. That'll be 2 squads worth there. And put markers on the map and let the gang know where there are actually infantry trying to defend and try and get flank fire in. That's a good 18 team, is getting that stuff happening. That's what I'd be training my guys to do. is actually learn how to talk across squad with angular fire. All right, so Chimera's still doing that, a little bit brute force on the front there, but it's working for them at the moment. You know, don't fight hard. What's the phrase? Shit, I can't remember it. You know, basically, effectively saying it's better to try and fight easy than to do it tough. Can't remember the phrase. It's a good one though. Damn it. Anyway, Nix, thanks for that file, that information that came through the timer thing. Obviously, I've got one running already, but I might look at prettying it up a bit or looking at what yours provides because I have to click on something off screen. I'd rather use it from inside. This is fucking horrendous right here and right now. This is death by dismemberment for everybody. That was pretty brutal there. Huller's going to get flanked here if Slick looks up. Slick's not managed to see him. Here's a big spray and pray from Cannon. He's managed to finally, actually, I think fucking Huller picked up Almighty there. Cannon was just kind of keeping heads down by the look of that. Otto's ready for that push around the corner. Huller's behind him. He doesn't see him at all. Here we go. Huller's looked around. Bad timing from Huller. No one's seeing anybody right now. But Otto's picked off. Oh, bam, bam, bam. And it's trade 1-2, 1-2. And Otto's spherical, the winner at the end of the day of that fight, was Slick down in the trench flanking the Chimera guys. There we go. Trying to pick up Diesel, missing twice, 3 times. Diesel's like, oh, and he's been picked off by fuck knows who picked him off. Diesel owes somebody a beer. Maybe he managed to pick him off in return. This is a brilliant push here from Chimera because they've done that pincer move now. They've cut off the supply line up north from 10th and they've managed to get through the south. 10th in all sorts of trouble here because the point is going towards Chimera. As you can see, 50% capped right now. This is freaking awesome play from Chimera of multiple attacks, multiple angles and stuff. I think it's going to fall Chimera's way. 10th have got to reinforce from somewhere. And the worst part about it for them is if this is their reinforcing line, oh, great machine gun in there. That's going to help 10th a lot in trying to trim down that southern flank. But the north flank's in all sorts of trouble from 10th. I think they've lost this. I think this is GG's. Look at the numbers of Chimera players on the field right now, cutting off supply lines where look how far back 10th have to come in from. And Bubbles is already there to pick people up as they come along. Chimera are going to cap this with, what have we got? 13 minutes to go. That doesn't mean it's game over. It means there's 13 minutes to go that 10th have to do something to try and, you know, pluck Chimera out of the point now. And given the way the play's gone, where it's definitely been in Chimera's favour for skill set today, I don't think 10th are going to be able to crack this nut open again. So really, really good play there from Chimera, pushing that force up north, taking over that sector we talked about, and then running all their troops down through pretty much that orchard we were talking about before. And but 10th have managed to get a spawn in. A spawn wave in. There's a rocket from Spherical that killed the squad leader. Did it pick up the OP? I don't know. It's trimmed enough of the 10th on the point there that the cap is still going back towards Chimera now. Good defensive play there from 10th, but it's not going to be enough, I don't reckon. If that OP's gone, though, it is GG's in that point at the moment. Excuse me. So well done from Chimera and capping the point. They feel pretty chuffed about that attack, to be honest, and well should they. That was great coming down through there. Here's Chance counterattack, though. As it sweeps in from the north, they have to control that sector. They got that lovely, lovely wheat field they can run across to give the new players a bit of an understanding. You can't see shit when you're not standing up, as in players can crawl across here or walk crouched like this. I mean, walking crouched across an open field, not really worth anything because it slows you down a little bit, but certainly in the wheat fields here. And because in this particular meta, one of the rules of this tournament are that you're not allowed to get above players' head height. So you can't jump up on top of things and shoot people in wheat fields and stuff like we see in the comp play. And that is critical there because I know a lot of the Chimera players at least get up in those fucking towers and stuff and pick people off at range. Just, you know, why not? If you can do it, do it. Here they can't do that. So Butters is able to move across the field. They're pretty much uncontested. Good on him. Now Jinx is going to actually get flanked here, but Butters has gone the wrong way. Oh, now they're all here. There's all ears on now. And lovely kill through the bush there from Jinx. Great defensive play. And that is that skill set thing we were talking about that just Chimera seem to have the run of it today. Whether it is because some of their players are better or they are playing better today is irrelevant. They have definitely got the run of it. And here's Matthews and co now trying to work that wheat field again. They're all up against it here though, poor old 10th. About 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go, folks. Bubbles coming in through now, and you can't see them at this range. We know they're there. Matthews picks them up at about 5 metres away. That's the distance. Look at this. Kingsley won't know Matthews there. He's now starting to hear him running, but they cannot see each other at this distance in this wheat field. You can't see Kingsley at all. Let's see where we can see him. There's the first movements you start to see about 3 metres away. That's what it's all about, folks, using these wheat fields for those great push plays. And it is a very good attacking line to come in from here. Look at that attacking line from 10th. They are pushing. They are grinding down Chimera. Chimera, though, have managed to put a staging point there where VK and Ty Spherical, President and Mr. Cheese are. They're going to try and hold that position. I think 10th need to try and head north and sweep around that way. But we know Chimera are aware of that flank, and they've got about 5 players up there to defend against that. There's fuck all down here for 10th to do. They can come across this hedgerow here. But once you get to here, where you going? 1 or 2 long-range defenders. Cannon fodder's watchful. Bam! That was cannon fodder, folk. Just defending his machine gunner there on the fence. Just picked off the flanking player. Nedig's going to do the same thing. He's looking to try and pick up the machine gunner, who's well hidden, not camouflaged, but definitely concealed. I'd be either lobbing a grenade in or putting machine gun fire or MP40 fire through the hedge. They're not doing that. There's the grenade. Nedig, smart enough to put a grenade in, a good grenade throw, has picked off the machine gunner. So that's what they wanted to do. And then long range fire picked off the defensive player. That's very well played, actually. I'm quite impressed with that play just then. Because they were smart enough to realise they were getting plucked across the field. The trouble is they've got nowhere to go here. They can long range fire into the point, but yeah, see, this is what's happening. They just get picked off at the end of the hedge there. So again, Chimera outplaying the 10th there. Here's Grant now up close, but he can't go anywhere from this point either. Once he gets to the edge of this wheat field, that's a good 50 to 100 metre. Well, let's look at the exact distance. 92 metres to the point there, folks, so about 80 to the trench. He ain't going across that field anytime soon against the Chimera defence. So literally, the 10th have got to work this sector we're looking at right now on the screen and attack that way. And they're not. They're pushing the south flank. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe this is a bit tough to crack. There's some up here now. This is good. This is good. We've got 8 minutes left, folks. 8 minutes left for... So the end of this match, if Chimera win, look at that smoke. That's great smoke. If Chimera win, then that's it, 2-0 to them. And I'll actually be switching across to the match of 20th Panzer Grenadiers versus OTTR, or Otter, as they like to be called. So that's actually handy for me because I might actually get the first match. But of course, we want to see 10th get back here and go into a third match. We really do. I don't think they're going to do it. Unfortunately, I just don't think they got the goods. Matthews has managed to work up there. That's a great play. That's what you want. Man, and he's down though. He's down. Has he put his OP up to get his squad in up there? I don't know. I don't feel like he has. The Chimera defense is just too good at the moment, isn't it? It's just too good. Caledonius is pushed out. They're defending forward of their position in the staging area for 10th. Look, this is the staging area where that OP is right there in front of us. And as soon as they get out of this, they to spawn in, they've got people on their doorstep starting to shoot at them. So you don't go anywhere. Look at that. Jump over the fence, get picked off. VK is going to push his way up here now. He's lobbing a few smoke grenades. He's going to throw some grenades over the hedgerow probably and take out that OP. And it's just problematic for him. Let's follow VK and see how well he does here because he is in amongst it right now. We'll see how we get down in behind, folks. There we go. Look at that. And we do this and we do this and we can actually follow him where it's focused on him. VK can hear it. VK's looking for spawn points though, folks. There, bam, bam, bam. 1, 2. He's missed. He's managed to pick up Butters. He's going to run the point. He's going to get that OP. There it is, gone. Matthews now knows probably that the OP's gone, but he's leopard calling around. Oh, picked off 1, 2, 3. 3 players there waiting. Tank, geez, that's a really good spot there from Tank. What's he sitting on? So what he's got here, folks, is very narrow vision, but he can see to somewhere fairly important. And he's got protection with this, whatever it is. Chook pen? Yeah, it's probably a chook pen, isn't it? Oh, but nobody's getting anywhere right now. 10th are just getting cut down on their own line. 6 minutes to go. It's got to be in the north attack. It really does. It really, really does. 10th have got to go north. These guys up here from Chimera, they look at what they're doing. They're just flanking down right nicely, just pushing down. Here's a bit of a push up the top here from Puck trying to do something. Jinx is just patiently waiting there to kill. I guess all the action's down here at the moment. We'll just stay on this because it's not gonna change, I don't think. All right, so bam, 1-2 down. Who was that? Kingsy picked them off as they tried to get across that fence again. You start to get the impression that they need to do something about smoking north of that fence, so they don't get shot on the way through. It's another push here from 10th down the same line. They're trying to take this road area, that central area. It is key. It is definitely key, and they definitely need to be doing this. But that north area is a real problem for them at the moment. Now they're starting to get picked off almost on their OP. Here's Tank trying to do some shots north. Someone down here going spray and pray. That's Yeet. He's yeeting. Yeet having a bit of a yeet with the old MG belt. Diablo's made his way into where Cheese's defensive line is. Cheese is on top of a fence. Not sure that's actually allowed, to be honest. So we'll see if that's picked up. I'd be interested to see what chat says about that actually, because he is above head height and he's standing on a fence. Yeah, he's. I'm pretty sure that's not allowed. All right, but we'll watch to see what happens there. He's just been grenaded off of it anyway. Yeah, certainly I'm pretty sure the rules state something along the lines of you're not allowed to be above head height unless you're jumping over something. And he was definitely standing on that fence, so that'll be a little bit of something for the referees to have a look at if they see this footage, of course. Okay, so we've still got Chimera pushing in to the defensive zone for 10th, and they're doing that pretty well right now. VK is still going through into that area where they're spawning. There's a nice rocket from Diablo. VK flanking around the back. He knows there's an OP up there, of course. Sparky's up in the building. He's allowed to be in there. The buildings are part of the game. And there, look at that. VK 1-2 kills, and you can see the OP up there, of course. So he'll be looking to grenade that probably. I don't know. Don't know whether VK's going to try run in or he's just going to try and pick people off as they go. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on this one. There's the kills as they come in. VK has got the goods there and he's picked off 1, 2, 3. VK's usually a commander in this game, so he's doing pretty well as a ground pounder at the moment, squad leader, which is where I'd expect him to be with his level of skill and knowledge and expertise. You know, driving the squads to do what he needs them to do. At least at his level there in that squad. So there you can see they've got right in amongst the 10th area. Sparky's trying to defend that, but that's pretty much shut down the 10th game, I think. It's 3 minutes left. Not a lot coming in from 10th at the moment. They've got their spawn points over the back there, of course, that can't be touched, the garrison points. So, you know, they'll come back in off of them. But that Chimera defense, this comment's just made their Chimera defense too scary. Yeah, it is pretty fucking brutal, that Chimera defense. It is not generally what they're known for. As long as I've known these two clans that made up the one clan of Chimera, which was the AIF and the HFKT mob. HFKT were probably a little bit more defensive, played a lot of arty. Chimera, though, the general players from the AIF that came across to Chimera, very assertive, aggressive players. So it's interesting to watch their playstyle change over the last year, where they do have a strong defensive component now. And I say it is strong as we're witnessing here. Though, having said that, there's the 10th push up north now. That's what I wanted to see a while back now. We got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, but probably just under 2 minutes now on the clock as 10th start to push in. Nedig now starting to try and affect something up here with Chuckles as they move across that weak field. They're coming into the tree line there, and Chimera a little bit oblivious to that central area of the map that I'm looking at, central area of the screen I'm looking at here, where the very good player in Nedig is coming across the field, although they're just starting to get picked off now. Jinx is looking backwards there and seen him. Boom, there we go. 1-2 down from Jinx. Nice little kills there. Was it Jinx that, yes, up standing on, that's perfectly fine there, standing on that, because it's part of the ground. Well, I assume anyway, and then maybe that's what was happening before with Old Mate. He was not standing on the fence, he was standing on the wall. So I guess that is fine. Interesting stuff. So look, these are learning points for me as to how that actually works. They're not allowed, I believe what it means is they're not allowed to stand on the fence itself. So where you see folks standing right up on top of, fuck, I need to drop that, slow it down. Standing right up on top of a fence with a hedgerow they're hiding in, they're not allowed to do that. But he's standing on the ground technically there, so that's perfectly fine. It gets a little bit of, little tiny bit of elevation, and well, that's how it is. What they were trying to stop was people get up on top of, you know, like those grain silos and things like that, where they could see for 2/3 of the map and just shoot wherever they wanted. I guess, you know, a little bit of control like that over the tournament is needed. We're getting down now, not long to go. Not long ago in this match. I can see my timer says 42 seconds, so it's got to be less than that because we started late. So I'm just going to keep an eye out for when time is called if the match goes. Yeah, a comprehensive victory here from Chimera across the two matches. Well done to them. There it is. GG's has been called by Mugshot. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Well done to the Chimera team for picking up the two matches. And so what I will do here is I will drop out of that match now and I'll get myself across to the other game. Well done. Well done. So Chimera have outplayed the 10th Mountain Division on this occasion. Now, let's see what we can do here to make this look different. Well, first thing I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to focus on the this quickly. Just get this set so that at least it's done. Who else was it? Yeah, take off the 10th. So that's them. Okay, so that's what's coming up now. We're going to switch across to that. So I'm just going to get my list up, find the training event server, get the match right, and I hope I can actually get in and on the start of it. I haven't set this up. This was a late thing that was thrown in this morning that they had nobody do anything on this. There it is. They look like they're just about ready. So and we'll get ourselves in there and make sure that that's set up. I'll just confirm that there's no change to the Chimera match. First 10th that they have definitely confirm matches all over and see him 2-0. And we'll bring up that other thing shortly. Here we go. We'll get onto this particular team and they'll be doing the setup here. So it's probably worked out pretty well, the timing on this. It looks like they're into it and they've already got things moving. So I'll get that set. Bam, bam, bam. We'll get ourselves up. I do want to take a quick drink break, but I'm going to get you over the action as quick as possible. And yes, that is confirmed for that. So right, let's get this across here. Let's get that up there. I need to change some things. So folks, they're fighting over Hugo's Farm. We'll get rid of those other logos and we'll get the correct logos up. Just give me a sec here to reset that. There we go. Whose side am I on? Shit, I don't remember. I am on OTTR's side. I don't know what they are. They are the Axis, so I got that right. Okay, so cool. That worked out well. And that's your teams right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battle of 20th Panzer Grenadiers versus OTTR. And this is it. They're fighting over Hugo's Farm, and I'm your caster, Noppers. If you weren't just watching me on their first match, well, welcome to this one. And we can see straight away the blue team is OTTR. So I'm on the OTTR team at the moment, and OTTR are holding Hugo's Farm really well, and they are keeping out the 20th Panzer Grenadiers by the look of this. So we're just trying to catch up with where this battle's at. I don't know how much time is left in this match, but I need to get rid of that timer thing on the screen there for you because I do have a battle timer. So yeah, there it is. That's what's happening at the moment with this match. I'm not sure how long to go. We'll just check to see if there's any information there about the page up show chat. There's no chat whatsoever happening, so I'm not sure what state we're at with this particular match. They definitely will have only have started their first match. It was starting at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which was probably within the last 30 minutes. What's the time now? Let's have a quick look at that. 12:58. So Chimera started 11:30 to 20. It's about 28 minutes ago. It was 9 p.m. Eastern. I think I'd have to check the website for that. So I don't know anything about the OTTR team. It's the first time I've heard of them, so we're going to learn some things about how they play, but they look like they're doing pretty well at the moment. 20th Panzer Grenadiers, of course, I've seen them play before. with 10th Mountain because they did a blended tournament team there for a while. So let's get ourselves down in and have a look at a bit of this action because it looks pretty chewy right now. As the 20th guys try and work their way into this 10. I'm going to get all my numbers wrong here. The 20th guys work their way into the OTTR defence here. White Shark, of course, an automatic rifleman there against Scripture, an automatic rifleman. But you can see around the back there, Hagrid, Chris JT, Nick, and Cost GS on the defensive. Now, I do know that one of the teams, I think it's 20th, one's an American team, United States team, and one is a German team. Someone can confirm which one's which for me. I think it's 20th Panzer Grenadiers are a US team and OTTR are German. But somebody needs to confirm that because I remember seeing that this morning and I just cannot remember. Maybe it's the other one around. No, actually, I think maybe it's the other way around. 20 Panzer Grenadiers are the German team and the OTTR are the American team. So we need to bring up that screen later and have a look at where the teams go. But Chimera have got them their way through to the next round, to the last match for the final six. Here is the back defensive point, by the way, for the 20th Panzer Grenadiers. So they've been pushed right out of the point and back onto that defensive line. So pretty hard for them at the moment. Let's have a look down south here and see what's happening. Is it south? No, we're on a different map. So this is across the east. And you can see they're having a hard time of getting across here. And I think a few things to note about this map as well. We've got a an open field here, but it's got a slope. Makes things a little different. When it comes to looking in from angles, we can have a look out there and you can see quite a ways in. You know, so from up there where I'm looking through that gap and smoke and stuff, you can see down in here and shoot down here in a defensive way. And yeah, Chuck Cuckham trying to push in, got Medico, killed him out and is pushing right forward to, again, the defensive position for the 20th to spawn in on. So 20th in all sorts of trouble here. They've definitely been pushed well out of the point. They've got OPs back here. Where are we on the grid squares? We're right at the back end of them. So there's the 4 grid squares that we're fighting over. We'll probably just get in a little closer and centralise that for you. So there's the 4 grid squares. Look how far out OTTR have come. This is definitely the way of the OTTR guys. They've definitely got this one in the bag, I think. 10th, 20th Panzer Grenadiers are not going to be able to push them back. I'm going to keep saying 10th, aren't I? They just did that match. Good matches, by the way, with Chimera. Well played to both teams. Pretty hard fought battles, and they're what you want. Even if you lose, it's a good fight's a good fight. Brentner there trying to do the MG stuff, and he's doing pretty well there, trimming the forces down. But look right down in amongst it here. That's just fucking right on, isn't it? Undead Clown has got 2 troops right in front of him, and he's just been picked off by him quite nicely. These guys can't go anywhere, so a decent grenade will pick them off, but they're just picking off everyone as they run up. There seems to be a lack of comms here from 20th, saying, hey, you got people behind the barricade. Maybe they're just assuming that they're getting killed. Medico is not releasing. There he goes. He's released now. Maybe he's just passing on information. Basically, Zach there and Steak Fries guy. All right. So OTTR are the US team, and yeah, that's what I think. And oh fuck, I don't know. Someone tell me. I can't remember. Damn it. And I didn't get time to do what I normally do, and that is actually gain some information about the 2 clans playing. I do like to try and get that information and talk about them. Just no time for it in this particular one, so I apologise for that. But welcome if you're watching my stream for the first time. I'm your host, Noppers. I do comp streaming. I don't belong to any particular clan, and I'm always available to stream whatever you need, stream friendlies and that sort of stuff. Just give us a yell if I've got time and I'm available to stream at that time. Then I will come and do your streaming for you at no cost, effectively. I just enjoy supporting the community as it goes. A lot of machine guns going on here. Definitely getting a lot of gunfire coming out of these groups. Wondering how long has got to go on this particular match. 20th Panzer Grenadiers are getting a little bit of traction here. Just down south, they're moving forward. Medico's done pretty well both times getting up there, but then dying up front there. Rockets coming in from the back there. Well played from OTTR. Scotty and Solvictus rather, are trying to put in long range fire and suppress the OTTR team as they come down through that line. It is a very linear attack line because it kind of has to be. Geez, you don't have many options on this point, do you? That's tough work. That is tough work. I don't envy them trying to work their way down through here at the moment. That sounds like maybe time's been called. There's no gunfire anymore. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that was the end of that one, folks. So that has gone OTTR's way. 1-0 to them. Well done to them. So we'll see the logos switch around now for the next match. I'm going to go to a quick break. I do need to grab a quick drink and do all that. So I'll be right back, folks. Look forward to casting the start of the next match. Alrighty then, we are back. We are just still waiting for this match to get moving. I have managed to slide in a little something to eat there and a little drink, so I'm happy. Welcome everybody. Yeah, that was a great set of matches there between Chimera and 10th Mountain Division. Excuse me, got the hiccups again. Just so you know what's going on, I'll just bring it across that screen. Ah, damn it, I haven't changed the transition. My bad, I'll fix that up. Right now, that's what's occurring is we've got the two teams. They're just doing some map setup stuff. There's the cap across. Hugo's Farm is the one we're fighting over today. So I'm just waiting for that to actually occur. And we get that running. So yeah, as I said to you before, I don't know a lot about these two teams. I know a little bit about 20th, but I can't for the life of me remember where they actually bloody will come from. And one's German and one's United States. So if anybody in chat can remind me of that, I just completely forgot which was which. But I have seen 20th play before, and they used to work with 10th Mountain Division in a collaborative major tournament kind of stuff, whereas I haven't seen the Otters yet, so I'll be interested to see, except for like what I streamed just before the very end of that first match. And we know because of that before that the Otters have actually won that first match, so well done to them for that. What that means and what's going on at the moment, not that one, that's the seasonal, the one above it. So this is the table at the moment that we're looking at in relation to this tournament, 18v18 tournament. And as I said at the start of the stream, for the Chimera and 10th, whichever one of those two goes gets through to that round 45, which of course Chimera have won that now, so they're the winner of 43. So there they are in 45. They'll be there shortly. Now, same for these two guys just above here, 20th and OTTR. The winner out of today, at the moment with OTTR being one up, the winner out of it will go through and play against Chimera in round 45. And then the winner of round 45 gets to go into the final six. All right, so it's kind of cool for both teams here. This is it, though. This is it. They are getting themselves ready for the finals. It's finals. Exciting. Okay. So how does it work? We know we talked about before how the actual battle works, you know, 18v18, a lot of squad level stuff. Hugo's Farm is pretty tough to fight over. Who the hell picked this one? I have no idea. I don't even know how the selection stuff works, if it's generated automatically or what. I've never looked into it in that depth. But Hugo's Farm, it's hard, and I'll show you why. Let's have a quick look at that while we're waiting here. We'll find that screen. We'll do that. We'll do this. We're not off, are we? We're not away, are we? They're all in position. They're all in position. This is coming in. Just, there is a lot of open field. All right? There's a lot of open field. That's what I wanted to show you there. You know, there's not that many good spots for you to run and gun from. You're going to be out in the open a lot. I'm just keeping an eye on these guys. I don't actually know when they start or how the start is triggered. We're just seeing the 20th Panzer Grenadiers now start to appear down there. So 20th Panzer Grenadiers are the Axis players in this round, and the Otters are the 10th, are the Allied players. All right. So yeah, the part of the map that we're fighting over is pretty challenging. Now, I did have a question from a guy named Master X7734 about 10-15 minutes ago, asking about 40v40 tourney modes and live events and things like that. So there are a whole raft of competitions and tournaments out there at the moment, and the different metas are everything from 6 versus 6, 18 versus 18, 35 versus 35, and 49 versus 49. They are the main ones. Why 49 versus 49? Because you need to fit a streamer in into that. So yeah, that's how that works. There are so many clans and so many countries involved in all these tournaments. And some of the tournaments, and I stream some of them. We got the HCA coming back in February, I think. That's a pretty good one, and it's got a lot of big teams in it. We just finished the seasonal. That was pretty good. There's the 18v18, which you're watching now. That's got a bit more to go yet. There's some Oceanic teams. Obviously, I'm an Australian, so there's some Oceanic teams tournament stuff going on as well. There's the American Premier League, which is starting for the first time in April, and I think that is. There's the European. What's the C stand for? I always forget what the C stands for. Community League. Wait. Yeah, Community League. European Community League. Don't know if they're finished yet or not. So there's plenty going on, and I expect that this year will be. So last year we saw a lot of new comps start, and a lot of new teams and a lot of new regions start. This year I'm expecting to see the continuation of that and more teams buy in. The challenge with games like this are that people get burnout and they move on to other things, and the next shiny thing will release. I like playing a bunch of other games as well, DCS, and I played a bit Dark Tide. That's fucking horse's ass, that game, the way they released that. I play all sorts of things. So, but Stellaris, I haven't really got into that ever, so I'm going to try and get into that a bit. But Hell Let Loose has got a scene that I love. Grom, thank you very much for the sub. I do appreciate it. As I say every time, the way my channel works is I don't collect any revenue. I distribute it back to the community. So you'll end up seeing me do Steam key giveaways and stuff like that this year for different things. So watch this space. But I do appreciate your sub. Thank you. Because it means that I can feed that back into the community. I do this for fun, folks. I don't do it for income. Some other streamers do it for income, and I support them on that. All right, so there's so many different tournaments and things that go on at the moment. You really just sort of got to get yourself into these chats and talk to people, and I'll guarantee you there's people listening here right now that will be interested in recruiting you if you're brand new to the tournament scene, or if you're not in part of the clan or whatever. I mean, God, there's probably about a dozen Oceanic clans straight up that do tournament stuff or competitive stuff, let alone the American teams, the South American teams, the you've got everything from Canada, Canadian, US, UK, Brazilian, Argentinian, Chilean, Paraguayan, Spanish, French, German, Russian. Who did I miss? New Zealand, Australia, Chinese teams, various. So you can get in on these scenes anywhere. It's pretty good. All right, we're just waiting, obviously, for this to start. Chips and RJMA, I would suggest, are the adjudicators for this. We're just waiting for players to be in position ready to start. And I'm going to trigger a little clock this time, so you'll see in the top right corner there'll be a clock that is actually indicating the game time. 30-minute match. That is what this is. 3 matches, or best of 3. So here's the cap happening for Hugo's farm. I think it has to turn into their favour, and then once it turns into their favour, as soon as this as soon as the cap point turns, then it starts. That's the way they do it, I think, in the rules. A couple of the rules that are interesting, and I kind of got a bit kerfuffled by one last match, or the match before this one, actually. Chimera and 10th. There was someone that was standing on a bit of dirt, and I thought they were on the fence. I'm like, well, you're not allowed to stand on the fence. But sort of looking at it a little bit afterwards, and they're on the dirt. That's fine, I believe. The idea is that we don't have people standing too high and using that sort of thing to their advantage on the map, because it is quite a game changer, that sometimes. There's a lot of other stuff that isn't. There's a lot of other stuff here that isn't in it. There's no commander abilities. There's no engineers. There's no satchels. You don't build anything. Makes it interesting. Makes it different. All right. I think the way they're doing this is they're capping 50%. Yeah, that's it. There's the shot. Is that the start? Watching. Anybody moving? Waiting? Hugo's is fun to fight over. I don't disagree. But we'll get in and we'll have a look around some of the terrain and we'll see how we go with it. Just waiting here. Must be starting at 1:15, I reckon. Yeah, they are. There you go. Right, so I'm going to start that. Trigger will be about 3 or 4 seconds out. There's the timer up the top right corner though, folks, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's on. OTTR versus 10th Mountain, OTTR versus 20th Panzer Grenadiers, and the Panzer Grenadiers are a bit slow off the mark there. The OTTR guys have the opportunity to get across there with a lot more concealment, a lot of trees there for them to be covered by as they run across. So it's a really good spot to fight once you're in here. But God, if you've been pushed out of the point, it's such a bastard to try and get to, because folks can actually, like, okay, so if we look at Otter here, Otter are coming in from that left flank, and 20th Panzer Grenadiers on the right. Once Otter, oh, there's an early rocket to, no, it's gone speculators to nowhere. Here's our rockets going in. There's the early trade rockets. We always see that in the tournament play now. The early trade rocket where it's lobbed down range. Oh, that was a good one from Hellacious Harry, who I've been speaking to. Was one of the folks that set me up to cast this at late notice. But once these guys from Otter get into the point, if they can get up to that front hedgerow where 20th Panzer Grenadiers are desperately trying to get to, then they'll be in trouble. But 20th have managed to get there. This is it. We'll get right down and have a look at what goes on here now. Shit going down everywhere. Gunfire, grenades and rockets. Red Baron coming out, lobbing grenade out. Hellacious Harry throwing one and back in. RJMA, no, he's one of the players. He's actually pushing around the side there. Oh, that was a good grenade there. Someone picked up these guys down this bottom end. They've got the shed there, what we call it Bunnings here in Australia. It's Home Depot in the States. Don't know what they call it in Germany. Solvik, oh, Red Baron, some great kills there. Picks off a couple around the corner. Visors down though. Brentner, yeah, look at this. Red Baron is going through and absolutely trimming them. And there's the first cap for Otter. They've managed to pick the point up. Svensson in a bit of trouble here now. He's getting flanked there. Oh, look at this play. Red Baron and Shepard just absolutely trimming the 20th Panzer Grenadiers down to size there. Wow, that was very, very convincing play from the Otter guys to clean out the point early on. Medico and Lava Bear, they're trying to hold on desperately as 20th are now pushed right back. And look how far back they've got to run in from. Just to give you a perspective where we're looking at, they're way down in this corner here, and they've got to run across there. That's a pretty good area to run across, but then they've got to get through where Hagrad is and others, and this is going to be defended fairly heavily from the Otter guys. I think 20th are up against it already. Look how far they've got to go across so many open fields there. And yeah, wow, this is a tough start for 20th on the second match, and they're already one down, of course, folks, as we know. So they're right up against it, and I don't know. It's a hard fight. This, it really is. Once you've lost any connection with the point and you're pushed way back, and what I'm talking about here, why it's so important. If we just get down here to ground level and have a look how much of a line of sight they've got from up on top of the hill. Yes, it is a reciprocal, so they can look up the top here. But old mate here's got his machine gun set up, and he can just go nuts with it. He's a bit exposed here, actually. I would not be there. Oh, where would I be? Yeah, look, he's just been picked off. It's too exposed there. I'd be lying on my guts here and set up and just covering that angle there and just ignoring that side there and letting someone else deal with that. Because then you've got cover on your left flank here where they can't shoot you through that, and at least then you can sort of keep the machine gun arc pointed that way, because if you want to turn that way, you've got to actually reset yourself. So, yeah, no, I'd do that. I'd do that differently. I do machine gun a little bit differently than a lot of folks. A lot of folks spray and play too. I don't do that. Anyway, I did a video on it a couple of years ago, training videos on this stuff. It's a bit out of date now, but the concepts are still the same on machine gunning, by the way. So if you want to check that out, you head over to my Noppers. I'm just Noppers on YouTube. It's the baby in the helmet. Go and take a look. Anyway, yet again, we see the Otter guys pushing out from the point and really taking the fight to the 10th defensive area. And that's going to be a challenge for them. We'll get down and have a look at what 10th have got up against them as they come in from this angle. You can see, you know, they don't know where the bullets are coming from. It's coming from downhill from that high right flank. It's coming from over there where Nick and Costs. Yeah, look, bullets coming down off the hill. So they're trying to throw grenades and run down the road here, getting shot from the right side, while they've got guys defending against them on the road as well. And nice kills there from Wendy's. And it was a 115 stream. Grim called it. Yep. Oh, good kill there from JFK shot first. And that's an interesting name, isn't it? All right. So 20th of the German team. That's what I'm saying, by the way. I'm pretty sure that they're the German team. But someone please tell me in chat. I just can't remember. And the Otter guys are from the US. So 20th are struggling to get down this road right now. RJMA there, assault player. Now he's got to get across this open gate, and he's got... I mean, there's 4 different places they can shoot him from here, and bam, there's one. Who knows where that bullet came from? But, yeah, where do you go? He's tried to put smoke in there, and he just couldn't even get in the trench. Pretty brutal map to play on. We are 24 minutes to go, so 5 minutes in here, folks. And it is all going OTTR's way at the moment. Here's Silvictus trying to crawl. And he's been picked off there from across the field. Just nowhere to run. Nowhere to run right now. They're just getting picked off from every angle. 20th have just got it up against it. And this is for the place for the playoff for the final, pretty much. So for the folks that are watching here today, at the start of this stream, I did the Chimera versus 10th Mountain Division stream for those matches. You know, go and watch the VOD back and watch the start. You know, it'll give you an idea of how the Chimera team will play. So, and great, thank you very much for Abinus there for letting us know, because there's so much to read on this tournament, as all tournaments. The strong point was picked via a ban phase, so it's a mutually agreed one. And so interesting thing, I ran a fire team invitational last year. I ran the tournament, I set up the tournament myself, I funded the prizes for it. It was a 6v6 thing, and it's a really interesting concept at that level, and was really tight, intense fight for the players. There was a lot of sweat. And then I found out about the 18v18 later, and it was like, okay, and so a lot of the things are similar between it. So 4 grid square sort of fight, so fighting over a 4 grid square area. The difference, I guess, is that you guys fight over a point, whereas I don't have that in the Invitational, the Fire Team Invitational. I get them to fight over like random spots like this here, or a red barrel or something like that, and it's all pre-prepared, and it's a random draw as to what they get to fight over. Great kills there from Snarky Snacks. He's picked up a couple of the players as they come in. Great work, and White Shark now trying to get up there with some smoke and HE. Guardsman on the road there, putting some machine gun fire and doing really well at this defensive play. So, you know, good defence yet again from the Otters. But the Fire Team Invitational was a really good little tournament for that squad level play. So you could get the best squads. Devastating for everybody. A tanker squad bloody won it. So anyway, but this is a bit somewhere in between those big tournaments and the small tournaments like that one. This is 18v18. So the players here get a chance to work in a couple of squads, and this is the tight little fight kind of stuff, but at the same time a bit of coordinated tactics. The problem is here for the 20th Panzer Grenadiers is that the Otters have got the run of it. They have really pushed out well in their first assault, taken the point, consolidated it, set up the defensive line, and now they're pressing yet again into the defensive line of the 20th Panzer Grenadiers. So look at Chuck Cuckham. He's just swept through there, taking out the OP, no doubt. No, he's on the OP now. There you go. And he's just slaughtered them. And Hellacious Harry will be now looking forward and going, oh, what the hell? And here Hellacious has got the drop on him, has he? Yes, he has. Maybe. Can't see him at all. So tight stuff, but yeah, 20th. Too tough for him. Look at this. He's killed 5-6 players so far, Chuck Cuckham. And he's got a squad behind him still, if he wants help. He's picked up 6. There's the OP again. That OP's about to go. Kane's gone spray and pray from the hip. Wendy's has got him, but all over Red Rover. Wendy's is not a squad leader, so the squad leader's got to come back from the garrison, which will be back over there in those trees. Otters just cleaned him out of here. Absolutely cleaned him out. Look at that. Let's get up and have a real quick look from that. There's the middle point right there. That's the middle. It's all orange. It's all Otter at the moment. We've got 20 minutes to go. So there's definitely plenty of time here for 20th Panzer Grenadier to come back on this one. But in honesty, I don't think they're going to do it. I think Otter are definitely the better players on the day right now, or the better team on the day right now. Both NA teams, Grim, thank you for telling me that. I had thought 20th Panzer Grenadiers were a German team. I really had. But okay, they're both North American teams. Well, guess what? Otter's got the run of it, and they are just slugging into 20th at the moment. 20th, well, what would you do here? In an 18v18, you don't have a lot of tools in the closet, do you? Because you haven't got smoke and tanks and artillery and all that sort of stuff you can use. So it's got to come down to picking a spot and trying a bit of a surge push. But look at Hagrid's now flanking. Uncontested flanking here from Hagrid, although I think he'll get shot at by Snarky if Snarky's awake. Maybe. Snarky's not seeing him at the moment. Snarky's not looking that way. Hagrid's going to get right around behind him and take out whatever OPs they've got left. I think we saw this in the Chimera and 10th Mountain Division. The flankers were the ones that changed the course of the battle a little bit. Here's a big slug coming in up the top here from 20th, trying to push through. Clem's just lying in the fucking open field. How is he not seen? How is he not getting shot? I have no idea. But now he's getting up and he's pushing. He's looking and he's seeing. He's trying to fight. He's using that bush. Smartly using that bush. Let's follow Clem. Did he get picked off just then? No, he's popping shots at. Fuck it. I can't get this right. There we go. He used that bush as the approach, or he used his mate there as well, to try and distract them. And he managed to pick off old mate there. Now Clem's on the fence line. He's not looking. He's going to get picked off nicely by Goblin. Well killed by Goblin there. So let's get off that. So Goblin now. Let's follow Goblin. So Streamer's curse is that if you get followed by the streamer, you die, right? Or if you get called out by the streamer, you die. So here's a squad push now from 20th, and we're just going to watch what it's like for them at this squad level to try and actually push up. So you can see straight away, they can't even move with any freedom. They have to stop and shoot. Okay, cool. So they've got DOC, rather, trying to push up. But look at that. Someone is picking off folks from way, way over there before they get anywhere. Goblin's had enough of that, and he's going to try this other angle. JFK, Chris JT, and Visor, or Wizzer, pushing up. And look at that, Goblin's picked off Mega Goon nicely, but now he's getting shot from the left and he's down. And this is what's happening for them. They can't go anywhere. Can they crest over this ridge line? No, they can't. Here is, gosh, I tell you what, these guys are playing smart, aren't they? They're right on, but inside the boundary here. And if you get here and have a look, look at that. You can't see anything. So let's see. I can see what's happening there. Is that those guys are going to try and push the boundary. Well done. But these guys are doing the same thing. And they're seen and they've been picked up on it and they're getting killed before they even tried something new. Oh, it's horrible being the 20th guys at the moment. They just can't get a trick. Just cannot get a trick. Wow, and these guys here, these guys are what's doing it for them. They're just getting their long range shots in. Just picking people off. Here, whoever this is. Yeah, Shep. Look at the range he's shooting at. What's that? It's got to be about 300 meters. Bam, got him too. He's going to shoot at Doc now. See if he gets him. Oh, he's not hitting. Ah, there we go. Maybe that was him. Gonna run out of ammo. It's a problem when you got folks like that, eh? God, just such a good shot. Here we go. Chips is checking. Lobs a grenade in. Wakes up the defenders. Lets them know that he's coming. Defenders go, fuck, here we go again. MG on the road. Good placement. A little bit exposed there from that north flank. See how they got... You can get line of sight down there. Yeah, I'd be lying... Here. We line there instead of here. All right, so yeah, big trouble here for 20th. They're not getting back here at all. 15 minutes to go, halfway through. They're not making any ground. They're putting in some rocket fire there and getting killed for his work. Nice kill there from range. At the moment, it's long range trade, and this is absolutely Otter's match. So What? I mean, okay, chat, here you go. Here's your chance. We're all armchair specialists here when we're watching a match like this. I can sit here and I can tell you all day what I'd be doing if I was a squatty or if I was the leader of this group. How does 20th win it from here? What does 20th do at this point in time to get into the point? Because that's what they're going to do. They're not going to outplay one for one the Otter guys at the moment. You can see the Otter guys are pressing and killing quite effectively in both areas there. How do 20th get this back? What do they do? Because right now, if I was 20th, I mean, and this is what I was thinking maybe it would happen, a bit of a southy flank, because they could go right to the edge of the map here. Western flank. Sorry, I keep saying south, don't I? Western flank, and they're doing that, and they're doing it. MaxPad's going to pick off Chief Big Sad, who will achieve that. No, there he goes. Great shot there from MaxPad. Nice counter shots. Well done. Now you leg it. Now you get across there. If you're going to run across no Baddock, you've just killed that guy that was picking you off. Do it now. Do it now. But I want chat to tell us all, ladies and gentlemen, with under 15 minutes to go, how do 20th Panzergrenadiers win now on this match? How do they break it open? Is it this south flank push that we're looking at? West flank push, rather, that we're looking at. That is going pretty well, to be honest, against a superior team when it comes to the way they're playing today. The individual skills of Otter are definitely showing to be better than the individual skills of 20th at the moment. What does that mean? Maybe everyone's got a hangover. I don't know. Maybe they're playing sober. Maybe they're playing drunk. Could be anything. Fuck, I have good and bad days. Teams have good and bad days. What do they do, chat? Where do they go? That's what I want you to answer in 4.5 minutes' time. I would expect to see some answers there about how 20th crack open this defence, because right now it's not happening, and we've got 12 to go, and their OP created down the south there has been killed. Nice rocket in there from Medico as they start their push in from the eastern flank again. I'm not seeing a lot of Overwatch fire across the field there towards, oh, that's a spare rocket, towards where Chris is or any of that crew. There's the long range fire isn't occurring from the 20th, whereas it is definitely happening from the Otter guys. Here's this push up the top here again from some of the MVPs on the Otter team. Chuck, of course, we watched go all the way in there before, which was quite entertaining for chat to see. Well, yep, here he goes again. He's just been picked off. Oh, nice defense there from Goblin. Great work there, picking off a couple of players as they come across the field. But we've still got no movement really from 20th. They can't go anywhere. They're stuck on their little fences here. Here's Goblin's just been picked off by Clem now. Oh, look down the south there. It's been a slaughter. 10 minutes to go, just over. It's just not happening for 20th. They are just getting rolled pretty hard here right now. Chris has just picked up a couple more as he comes in, and Breton is trying to work out where he is. Breton has gone full auto, keeping his head down. Sets up the machine gun. Oh, and he's been picked off again, so you don't even have time. Yeah, wow, you know. Look, you have to fight off your OP. That's the horrible part about this game sometimes. When you're spawning into combat, you know, and you don't have time to get up to a bit of cover and then work out where the enemy are. When you just literally come in and you have to start pulling the trigger. That's what 20th are doing at the moment. And they're not getting anywhere in this sector here. They're not getting anywhere up to the east there. Having said that, though, these guys are doing well. They've managed to kill a couple and move along, but there's just too many, see? Wendy's is picking up another one. They've got to try and clear off an OP. At least try, yeah, and there you go. Clear off an OP so they can get the troops. But there was no one following. Wendy's made it all the way down there with one other player, but none of the others made it. Oh, dear. So I kind of feel that, I mean, you get to this stage in the tournament, both teams have played pretty well. They've played against quite a few different teams. This is the playoff for the last round of the group before they move to the finals. So, you know, there's an expectation here that these teams are all pretty good. But I'm surprised by the gap I'm surprised by the gap in skill set here between these two teams at the moment on today. It's very, I mean, you can see, look how well Otter are playing as a group there. You know, they've got foot, so we call it 1 foot on the ground. So Scripture, Shep and Chips were all 1 foot on the ground with eyesight out over stuff while other players in their squads moved. And then, you know, like Scripture's still staying there providing overwatch while others push forward. And even though we've seen people get shot, of course you've got to expect that's going to happen. They've still managed to move people forward by trimming out the enemy as part of that foot on the ground thing. So effectively you have 1 foot on the ground before you take a shot in netball or something like that. And basketball, kind of same sort of, you have a pivot point that you work off of. And so that's what they're doing. They're doing it well. It's infantry-minded tactics, effectively. And it's very, very effective. All right. I've just had a comment there from Grim. 20th needs lots and lots of smokes down this road. Yeah, well, you know, that is kind of where they're at, isn't it? I'd maybe pick a couple of spots where you're going to throw smoke. So you don't need smoke behind this wall. You'd want smoke. Well, you don't need smoke probably here either. You want smoke from this point onwards, from here. That's what you need. But right now, look, they're right back in the defensive line. And up north, it's just not happening either. So they're right in the defensive line, and they just have to fight straight off the foot. And they're just getting... Everyone's moving from 20th. Everyone's moving right now. Like Harry's moved up there and he was running along the trench system. Sven was running. Everybody's running. It means nobody's watching very well. They're all running at the same time. So Kane sets up here and then others move forward. But instead, Kane's even moving around with the machine gun. Watch this pair. They'll both run and they'll both start shooting. And then some others will spawn in. Everyone's just moving and shooting. And you need just a little bit of patience on the other team for folks to stop shooting while they're moving. Yeah, this is what the problem is. There it is, folks. I think if there was any silver bullet for 20th to fix, and for any other teams that play, let's watch this play as they come off of here. All right, so everybody right now is moving. Wendy's has taken fire, so it's hit the ground. Harry's stopping finally there, but everybody else ran out onto that road. Nobody stopped to look on a corner. Torrent was still moving around at the back there. And so when people ran out on the road, somebody got shot, everyone else hit the ground. You know, here's Harry moving. Now Brentner's got the right idea, but Brentner's getting shot from up north too far. But Brentner had the right idea of taking an overwatch position while someone else moved forward. All right, that is what Otter are doing well. All right, I think we get the point. So let's have a look up north. What's happening? Nice work there. Clem's been picked off. Steak Fry's been picked off. This is a little better from 20th. Picking off people from range, from different angles. Look at the different angles. Scotty now working an angle. Yeah, look, bit of trade doesn't matter. You know, they lost one, they killed one. Because they've wiped out all of the squads that were there. This is the start. Now what? Now they're just holding. No, that's where you start, get your guys further forward with that foot on the ground. No, maybe we ain't just come and look, because here's the reinforcing wave, who are far enough back they'll be able to get up to the next line. Let's get a look at it, shall we? They are pretty deep down this hill, aren't they? Gosh, they got a long way they're allowed to run before they could get seen. So up there, oh, nice rocket. Yep, they got up, not enough cover. Steak Fries is, now he's setting up to defend. Machine gun around the back there. Clem making his way up. And now the trade goes back the other way because they didn't have enough momentum here. It allows the Otter guys to set up a defensive line back where they were just before and rinse and repeat. Lava Bear down here trying to set up something to be able to shoot. See, as soon as he pops his nose around the corner, I reckon he'll get shot at. 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going Otter's way. 20th, I've got all the work to do here, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. They lost it at the start. A few comments in chat about how they lost it. I kind of agree, but with the premise of what was said there, at least anyway. And Otter have just never looked like even remotely losing this. They've just shut down the 20th attack time and time and time again. And it is, because of the map, this is where I said earlier, it has to be the same attack line. You don't get a lot of options here. You don't get to run across wheat fields or, you know, any of that sort of stuff. I think that's an interesting factor to consider for teams who know that they're not as strong as the team they're playing against. And I'll give you an example in the big tournaments, like against a team like the Line or DC or whatever. We know they're strong teams, so you've got to try and negate some of those advantages they've got. That might be through selecting the allies or axis, depending on what your tank is like and that. But also picking the right map location where things are neutralized, or where you play to your strengths would also maybe neutralize, or the enemy's strengths aren't as strong, that sort of stuff. So this is, we know that Otter are very good at long range shooting. I'd be trying to get as many smokes out as I could. I definitely would be doing that along this road. But look, they're stuck in amongst it at the moment, aren't they? 3 minutes 50 to go. They're about to lose this whole flank because Otter are pushing out. Usher are taking the attack out now. Nick's pushed in. Let's go over and have a look at how that looks. Yeah, Nick's been picked off, but you know, there's a few more going on. Hang on a sec. That's just a message. I've got people rocking up, dropping something off apparently later. Anyway, yeah, look here. Look, they're fighting on the defensive point. You know, so what do you do? What do you do? 3 minutes to go. What do you do? All right. 3 minutes to go. Otter all the way here, folks. It's just death and dismemberment for the 10th Mountain Division, guys. They're pushed right back up the north there again. So that little bit of ground that they gained, they've now lost all of it. Hey, look, I'm going to call it there for Otter while we finish off the last couple of minutes. And I'm just going to say I did really enjoy this 18v18 today. It was very interesting stuff. I love casting, of course, when I get time. Yeah, the match format and structure is pretty good, isn't it? It's definitely different. Really does bring into play the individual skill sets of some folks. Though nice kill there from RJMA, but then he's been countered by Nick. Nick's pushing out. All the team pushing into their spawn point. So you know, like these guys have definitely got a pretty strong player base. Definitely strong player base here of individual skills, and they showed that on case today. So this is going to be an interesting matchup of Otter versus Chimera in the playoff for that finals position. Both very, very good teams. Yeah, gosh, you know, and commiserations to 20th. Of course, their journey finishes up here. And that's that. I guess they've played pretty hard. I didn't get to see any other matches throughout the tournament. This is my first pair of matches today that I've streamed. I'll be trying to stream some next weekend. We'll see how we go for timings. It tends to be my availability is a real problem with the job I do. But I've enjoyed it, as always. I've enjoyed streaming, and thanks for being there, chat, and coming along the journey with us for what has been some of the great gameplay of this. Certainly, we are getting to the pointy end of things now where the top teams are really starting to show their wares, and we'll see that, I think, in the Chimera versus Otter match. I am hopeful that I get my hands on that one. I think it'll be a great match to cast, and I generally cast a lot of the Chimera stuff just out of the time zone and the fact that I'm oceanic, but I don't belong in any clans, so well done to all for their efforts today. As we finish off now, last 30 seconds happening right now. Congratulations to OTTR for a comprehensive win. Is he just spraying and praying now, or is it all over Red Rover? I think it is. Commiserations to 20th Panzer Grenadiers. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get across to the wrap-up screen. Just have a quick look at the bracket stuff. What a play, hey? What a play. I think that's it. 4 seconds left. Yeah, that has to be it. Just watching to make sure it actually comes up. Yep. Booby Schnoofler. Yeah, all right. So they've finished there, ladies and gentlemen. That, as we said, is the end of the timer. Battle is over. Congratulations, OTTR have won that one. Commiserations for the 20th Grenadiers. Getting across to the front screen now. There we go. That's my face. Put this up here. So, as we said, the Chimera team today and the OTTR team pushed through to round 45. The winner of that will go up into the final 6. The loser of that, I think that's it. I don't think there's a loser of 45 anywhere, so that'll be it for them. So one more match for either of those teams, and of course 20th and 10th are both out of the competition now. So we thank them for their participation. I'm going to wrap up. There's been a long stream. I must admit I wasn't prepared for it, so sorry if there was anything there was a bit dodge. But thank you very much for watching. I am your host, Snoppers. I look forward to seeing you on my next stream, and I bid you adieu, good afternoon, goodbye for now. If I can find the bloody ending, I'll be fine. See you then.